When that board starts saying overload, is that a good thing?
Overload?
Overload.
We overloaded it already? What do we do? How do you overload it? What buttons are you pushing?
All of them, baby. All of them. And a good afternoon.
Overloaded show today.
Yes, it is. It is the Daily Ticket on a Thursday. Get me to Friday, although every day just feels the same. Ho hum, woe is me. I know. More of the same. Not even 60 seconds into the show.
The most depressing.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I don't feel you're just in pain.
Yeah.
But, like, man, the depressing stuff that has come out of your mouth the past 3 weeks.
It's where I'm at right now, man.
Every day's the same.
I went and had treatment again today. The dude is phenomenal. His name is Al. He just,
Hello, Al.
Yeah, he rubs like I said. I had that.
I don't know how he does any of it. His eyes just put out icy hot on your back.
Yeah, he did.
I almost threw up.
I was going to get to that, which was great.
No, I wanted to get to that because I want people to know there's just the extra work I have to do around it.
I took a picture of it, so it's going to be out there in the timeline. Oh, absolutely. Jansen put an icy hot patch on my back. Now, here's the rub. What I would say is be happy that it's just a patch. Like my wife actually gets the lotion. Oh, yeah. Dude, icy hot, I'll tell you right now, has saved me in the last 3 weeks. Icy hot used to be a big go-to for me when I played sports, when I actually did activities. Of course, I haven't been the most active over the past few years, so the use or the need for icy hot hasn't been really prevalent in my house. But these last 3 weeks, it saved me. And the patches to the lotion and to the pen that they have, like they got the stain stick style, where again you just don't get that aroma on your hands and it doesn't stay with you, and it's just the best of both worlds. So I appreciate that. Yes, if you have a good coworker out there that would put an icy hot patch on your back, you should buy them a cup of coffee, take them out for lunch. Yeah.
But my 2 weeks are gonna be
icy hot patch. That's where you got to draw the line.
I got to draw a line somewhere.
Well,
I didn't know that would be the line. I didn't know which line it would be until I finally crossed that. But I think icy hot. Putting that on your co-host's back is
again. You got to qualify it. You got to qualify it by saying patch, because when you say just icy hot, people will be like, "Dude, did you really rub icy hot on his back in studio right before the show?" That's like suntan lotion.
Okay. Oh, okay. So the patch.
Yes, you got to make sure you include patch.
I don't care what I have to include. I have to put something on your back. Okay, it's disgusting. As any other co-host. That automatically qualifies me.
Absolutely. 100%. No one's ever done anything like that for me. No, absolutely not.
Do you think any other
one? I think Powers would do it. I think, like people that are in the studio, like in the family, I think they would do it. Sure. Sean Bernard would. He would absolutely. Yeah, he would slide. What Quimby probably tell me take a hike.
Kyle would have told you.
No, I'd Slash. I got confidence in
I
Slash.
think Kyle
He would have complained.
would have.
All right.
I didn't complain about it.
No, you didn't. You just sucked it up and threw the patch on, and here we are.
Yeah.
Look, we got a lot going on, and there are a number of places to start today. Of course, NBA Finals Game 1 this evening. You got live action Tracy with the Phillies and Mets, and the Phillies are just, man, not good right now. And it's a long season, but we have a interesting question we will throw out there for the people that want to say today is officially opening day. I kind of like that slant, so we might have to run with that. But Nick Nurse, out of nowhere, come on down. Finally announced officially as the 76ers head coach for the Philadelphia 76ers and moving forward. And, you know, there are a couple videos that are popping up right now on the timeline of him with the Toronto Raptors and the way he goes about coaching players with big personalities and expectations. And, of course, and also throwing into that to the effect of grooming certain players that you draft and of course make them better players under your guidance. And that's what excites me the most, right? Like, number one, the difference. I automatically go to the difference that we are getting from Nick Nurse from Doc Rivers. And first and foremost, what hits me more than anything is the X's and O's. And he is a guy that might go over the top with maybe rotations or should we do this, but that's a guy that will never be out of position. That's a guy that, in my opinion, Nick Nurse will always understand the details and will never get burned from the little things like that, which, happens to especially a lot of these new coaches. And that's where the 76ers were. Where did you want them to go? Did you want them to go find new blood, somebody out of nowhere, or did you want them to get the best guy available? And they did exactly that with Nick Nurse. It's well documented on this show. I know we both feel it as much, but the good vibes leave, right? And I know he's just being announced at this point in time, but this is how tough that job is. The good times they're going to go away real fast, right? Once this NBA Finals wraps up, dog days of summer, Phillies maybe struggle a little bit, everybody unplugs, Sixers will roll out their beach trip in August, start getting closer to the regular season or the preseason, and Nick Nurse is probably going to have the toughest challenge in front of him since Larry Brown was the head coach here. I was thinking about this. Doug Collins, what were the expectations?
Doc Rivers was a tough test, right? Doc Rivers had to win. He was brought in there literally because Brett Brown was part of the process culture, and then they failed in the playoffs. And it was brought in to change the culture, and that was a really tough task.
But
and a lot of pressure.
The difference is that Brett Brown was known for what? Losing. Yeah. So when you go to Doc Rivers, I'm not sitting here saying it's easy by no means, but
all you had to do was just get him a 1 seed.
Doc Rivers did his job for 3 seasons.
I think
for 3 seasons, he did his job.
A lot of his criticisms were overblown. There were legitimate criticisms.
Absolutely.
That I understand. But a lot of it was way overblown because I thought there was more good than bad by the end of it.
This season.
I even thought last year, I don't think he's ever been that bad. It's just that a lot of his faults did come into play when it came to when we get to the end of postseason like they did now.
Correct. When you get into these series and we know his history and game 7s, and you just can't avoid that. That's just tough. It's either you come away with the victory and shut everybody up and then therefore start your own talking points like, hey, that's not who I am. This is who I am. Instead, Doc Rivers could never get over that hump and therefore lost another game 7. So we understand why the firing took place. I'm not here to say that that's going to be the ultimate difference maker for this team moving forward, but I do like their chances with Nick Nurse, and I'm excited about the hiring of Nick Nurse at this point in time. Again, as far as challenges are concerned, I think it's a tougher road in front of him than Brett Brown had. I think it's a tougher road in front of him than Doc Rivers, than Doug Collins. I mean, I'm going all the way back to Larry Brown, and I know there was probably 1 or 2 coaches in between Larry Brown and Doug, if I'm not mistaken. I believe there were, yeah.
Well, is it because there is such a short amount of time to fix it. Because like they need to do it now.
Yes.
You can't do it next year. You can't do it 2 years from now. Nick Nurse is brought in to win now.
It's two parts. One, for me, it's number one, exactly what you just said. It's now. It's you got to get the job done. This team has been good enough. This team's been the number one overall seed. This team's second round. Yeah.
We've gone through this long enough. It's not even just get past the second round. You got to get to a final.
Got to get to a finals.
This is a team good enough. At least we say is good enough. I think is.
Yes,
and
they are.
But Embiid has this issue where he doesn't perform well late in these series, in fourth quarters, in game sevens. And Nick Nurse was brought into Toronto. Like he literally, we've seen this through the video that's been going around that's gotten viral of him talking about when he got to Toronto. They
Correct.
Had playoff woes. He was there, brought in to fix that, to get over that. And now he's brought in to do the same thing. So he's been assigned this task before, but this feels even more pressure because of how short it is going to be. Like we need results from Nick Nurse in year one.
Absolutely.
Nick Nurse has expectations of get to a damn finals.
Yeah, the Sixers are on a collision course right now, and it's not anything that we should be happy about, right? Like there are a lot of question marks, and if they don't come out with success next year, Nick Nurse could be one and done. He could be.
Oh, he could be. He could be one and done because Morey could be out. And if Morey's out, Nick Nurse could be out. And if Nick Nurse could be out, that means the Sixers are maybe looking at 3-2.
Are the Sixers a house of cards at this point in time? Meaning you just one out, and next thing you know, this is all coming apart. One layer after layer collapsing right in front of our face.
Maybe it's just I don't want it to get to that point.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying that, and I guess that's what you mean when you say, "Are they a house of cards?" Meaning, yeah, one little pull out, and it's all gonna come crashing down. But
just Embiid requesting a trade. It could be,
yes,
next year they don't even get out of the first round of the playoffs.
Yep.
Like anything that goes south, even a little bit, feels like okay, this isn't worth it. Like that's how on the fringe they are of. They could be a team that can get into the second round and get past it, finally get to the Eastern Conference Final, then an NBA Final, or this team could go south enough that it all just, like you said, goes down like a house of cards.
Yeah.
I mean, one small thing goes wrong here next season, and yes, we could be looking at Nick Nurse 1 year and Daryl Morey out next year, or maybe Embiid requesting a trade, which I think could be on the table. I mean, that is very, very possible.
For me, the highlights for Nick Nurse is the fact that he has gone up against the same competition that the 76ers have been battling with over the years to advance in the playoffs. He knows what it takes to beat the Boston Celtics. He knows what it takes to beat a team like the Milwaukee Bucks and so on and so forth. So that excites me, number one. Number two, the X's and O's for Nick Nurse. I think he's proved his worth. It wasn't easy winning in a championship with Kawhi Leonard. I know having a guy like Kawhi, especially what he did throughout the course of that run, made life easier. He never missed. He was a cyborg out there. But at the same time, he was the coach. He deserves all the credit in the world. So I'm allowing it, it's mandatory. Everybody needs to just allow Nick Nurse his time to groom, get his guys into the system, and let's see what he's got. But at the same time is not on his side. And like you said, if this doesn't go right, Daryl Morey could be gone. Then you get the whole general manager. He's going to bring in his guy. So I know Nick Nurse believes that having Joel Embiid, that's all you need. That's where I was a year ago. But guess what? You need a little something more.
Yeah, and I don't want it to sound like, because it feels like I'm riding the fence here. The Sixers are in a bad spot, which I do think they are. And then saying yesterday, like, hey, Boston and Milwaukee are kind of going through things, and you have a chance here. It's like Milwaukee had a chance a few years ago before Giannis won that championship. They probably were going to blow things up if it didn't work out that year, because that would have been 8 years with Giannis. I think 5 years with him being at the top of his game, MVPs, and them winning nothing and having won nothing. Boston's going through it right now at the moment too. They've been to an NBA Finals. They've been to 2 Eastern Conference Finals. They have nothing to show for it. And so the Sixers are obviously feeling that. And, you're going for an ultimate goal that not many teams win. And like we've seen in the NBA, it's really been Steph and LeBron. But, the Sixers are on that kind of fringe, and it's a spot that multiple teams have been in the past. That Oklahoma City has been in with Kevin Durant before, and when they had Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. But that's just where the Sixers are, and it's not like they're at a spot that no other team has been at before, and they're questioning themselves so much, and they're in a terrible spot. A lot of teams in the NBA are like that, but that is to me what it feels like. In that it could either like this is the year to do it, and if it doesn't happen, what conversations are we having then?
Where are you putting the Sixers right now for next year?
I still think they're a top 3 seed.
DraftKings Sportsbook, where we're getting odds from, and they're taking part of iHeartRadio Access Day. We'll have more on that coming up a little bit later. DraftKings and iHeartRadio, nobody doing it better than them two. And tomorrow's a big day for the iHeartRadio brand, and a lot of cool giveaways, things you can bid on, all that. We'll have information. Of course, pay attention during the commercial breaks. You'll hear a ton of promos running from now until tomorrow. So get involved, get active online. I'll give you all the information in just a second. Nuggets 5-1, Boston Celtics plus 550, Milwaukee Bucks plus 650, Suns plus 850, LA Lakers 10-1, Golden State Warriors 12-1, and then the Philadelphia 76ers 13-1. You think the Warriors regress?
They have to.
Well, we'll see.
Clay's not going to get better.
We'll see who comes back. We'll see what they do. We'll see what they add. We'll see what they subtract.
But they've been trying to add. I mean, just
Steph Curry back?
Steph Curry back?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
okay, then.
But
that's all they need.
But Klay Thompson.
What do you mean?
I just saw that.
Well, wait, what are we talking about? Are we talking about winning a championship, or are we talking about? All right. Well, you said take a step back, regress.
They are going to regress. Klay Thompson's not getting any better. Draymond Green's not going to get any better. And Steph is still playing at a really high level right now. I get that, but he's going to need more than just himself.
Man, it seems like he can do it by himself. I just think they're a move or two away, and I think that everybody wants to play with Steph Curry and, of course, the Golden State brand, and Kerr's a hell of a coach. And if they could just get Draymond back on a cheap price tag, that's going to set them up. They have some tough decisions, but at the same time, it all revolves around Steph Curry. And if he's there, I still think this team can win an NBA championship. Yeah. It clearly wasn't enough. So they need to do more for me to even.
Like their last remaining best shot for this team. They were going. They tried. They moved all the pieces around at the trade deadline. They tried to bring in a whole other team because I think they were definitely having the sense of urgency of LeBron might not be doing this stuff, and LeBron's already probably telling them like, man, we got to do this now, and it still just wasn't enough. And I don't know next year how they're going to react.
All right, from the 76ers and everything that's taken place off of the court in the NBA, let's get on over to the NBA Finals Game 1. We do have action, and we do have movement on the spread. Up from 8, a tick up to 8.5 on DraftKings Sportsbook. 219 is your total in this one. Money line, feeling froggy? Take a leap. Minus 360 for the Denver Nuggets, plus 295 for the Miami Heat. There's only one question here. Is this a game tonight? Is this a close game in your mind? Because if it is, then you got to go with the standard plus 8.5, take the cheese, and you got to sprinkle a little something on the money line. Is this a close game? In the fourth quarter, will we have actual good basketball on our television set, John Jansen? Yes or no?
My answer to that.
No.
I think Denver starts off very well. I don't subscribe to the rest thing that they've been on the shelf too long, that Jokic in Denver have not played a game in so long, so they're not going to be ready. I think it plays more on the side of Miami, that they just went through a very long series, and they were already gassed by the end of that series. Now, they ended up playing well. In Game 7, I think it was more Boston's woes than anything. But I just think Denver's going to overwhelm them early. Denver's too good. This is a better team than Miami has seen all throughout the playoffs. And I think Denver's going to overwhelm them pretty much this entire game. And then, look, the adjustments can be made in Game 2, and that's when I think Miami can get the better chance once they feel out some ways to defend Jokic. But the Lakers, I mean, they threw everything at Jokic in game one. That's when they threw the first time they threw Roy Hachimura. It wasn't in game two.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't make that adjustment then. They threw everything at Jokic in game one because they were trying to see if they could win that game because they were close. I don't think Miami's going to have that answer until game two. And who knows if that's going to be enough. But I think in game one, they will not be able to make any adjustment like that.
All right. Well, I'd love to get everybody involved with that question. At Fox Pizza Gambler on socials. Where do you stand for game one? Let's put the series to the side. I think we're all in the same ballpark where
Denver first half, Denver full game. I think that's all.
Yeah, I think Denver is the side tonight, especially first half, first quarter. I just Miami's got to be gassed. They just played an emotional 7-game series against the Boston Celtics that took all 7 and had to go up to Boston to win that game. Didn't even come back to Miami, flew to Denver, if I'm not mistaken. So they've been there, they're acclimated.
Altitude.
But now you got to go play game one in a building that these guys have just been terrorizing opponents. Give me more of the same. It's not as easy for a team to just say, all right, this is what they do well. We know if we take it away, we're going to be fine. Denver can attack you from multiple spots on the floor, multiple bodies. They're getting production from players that they really weren't counting on all season long, getting it from a guy like Gordon, who had himself a pretty good championship series there. I would say watch out for him as far as the player props are concerned. But of course, you got the superstars.
He's the one that matches up.
Yeah.
Like he's the one who has the right size and athleticism.
He's a beast. He's a beast out there. Top 5 pick.
So he's going to be on the floor a lot, and then obviously if he's on the floor a lot, he's going to have chances to shoot and score.
All right. Well, game one, love to hear your thoughts on everything. NBA Finals game one. We talked about MVPs. We talked about first half strategy. A little bit of altitude. Nothing wrong with that. I love Denver's so fun, man. Oh, man, it was so fun up there. Such a good time. Oh, Denver was great. Oh, man, it was perfect. There was so much to do, and like you get out and hike. You're talking about the best parks you could ever possibly be in. Just views on top of views on top of views. And
aren't they a decent sports city as well? At least for the Broncos.
Yeah, definitely the Broncos. So a true story, when I was out there, we went out, it was summertime, and me and my wife, we go out there, and their ballpark for Coors Field is literally like in the middle of downtown. It's pretty cool. So there's a spot essentially like Xfinity Live to a point. Nothing. It's almost like a bigger Dave and Buster's. It's not like Xfinity Live, but it's their pregame spot, right? Dude, televisions, cornhole, big outside world there. I mean, yeah, just incredible, right? So I go there. They're ready to take on the Phils. If I'm not, no. They were taking on somebody in the division. I think it was the Padres, and they didn't have the game on television. So the Rockies are playing versus the Padres. It was August. They were still in pursuit of the division, and they didn't have it on television. Well, there's just so much more to do out there than just sit around and watch sports. Yeah, like, trust me, you live. No, not at all.
I felt because I
got to drink water. You just got to stay hydrated.
I've definitely been up in the mountain.
Such a fun time, man. My first legal marijuana purchase, like, just blew my mind what that was like. Being able to walk in, treated like an adult. Alcohol has been legal forever, but like, come on, man, what are we doing here? Alcohol? I go back to when it was legal for 18-year-olds.
Really?
No, I can't. I'm not that old.
I was like, damn.
Just the good old boys. Did you see that video of that car flying off the road yesterday?
Yeah.
Good grief.
You know what? I'm glad everybody's safe.
How do you? Were they on the cell phone? They had to be on a cell phone.
I got to imagine
hitting that bank or the what is it? The trailer that tows cars.
Especially because auto, and that's so much fun to do.
How about the cop? Oh my goodness, what do we got here, man? I'll tell you what, we got a turn. What do you call it? A rollover? A rollover? Yeah, something like that. We got a rollover. All right.
But the one thing I will say about the Denver thing,
yeah.
Denver's like such a big thing because they mentioned the altitude.
They should.
528 here. I don't know if I like that.
Well, it
Is
is.
it that big of a deal? Because if it is, then maybe we shouldn't have a NBA team.
They were 42 and
Altitude's that big of a deal.
they were 42-7 at home.
I mean, I get they're good at home because they're a great team.
42-7. That's
What's Golden State's record? Golden State was a good home team, and they weren't even that good.
All right. Well,
does Golden State have an altitude?
No, they have a good home court advantage though. Championship.
Exactly. Well, exactly. But is that Denver's home court advantage? The altitude, not the fans, not.
It's a combination of everything. I mean, look, I think it's kind of similar to when you have to go play the Miami Dolphins in Florida in August, right? That's not easy. September, that's not easy. It's not easy going to Colorado playing in the altitude.
I don't know. Football is different because that is an uncontrolled environment, right? That's Philadelphia is different than Miami, and weather is different everywhere. Like it's an uncontrolled. We're talking about basketball in an arena, and Denver's the only one that has a different environment, I guess I would say, than everybody else. Like no other team can just be like, yeah, let's turn up the heat. You know, Miami Heat can't just say, hey, let's make this a 100-degree arena.
So what are you saying then? That there shouldn't be teams anywhere else?
It's a controlled environment. Now Denver just has this this huge advantage.
Well, it's not like they did anything and built a stadium a certain type of way. They just existed.
Their existence, and even with the Broncos, I mean, couldn't players not play in Denver because of? What was it, Ryan Clark?
Ryan Clark, yeah, exactly. No, it's real deal. I don't know. I look at what Seattle did. Seattle built a stadium specific to keeping the noise in house. What they did for the Seahawks stadium is, well, yeah, that. But so I would have an issue with that. But a team, a franchise existing, I have an issue with, I think there should be rules and regulations on how you could build a stadium, and therefore, okay. Well, I think you got to do your homework, and if you're going to build a stadium, then you should. That's what Seattle did. I want to maximize noise as much as possible as well, and they figured it out. For Colorado, just existing, getting a franchise, and yeah, they're 5,200 feet above sea level. I mean, those are the breaks. You got to go in there.
You know what? Maybe it's fine. I don't like that they're making it.
Doesn't it?
Oh, the altitude. Beware of our altitude.
People are high up there, my friend.
When you come to Philadelphia, it's beware of our morons.
Everybody get high.
Us idiots. That's what coming to Philadelphia.
NBA Finals, game 1 this evening. 8.5 is the point spread. 219 is your total. Once again, money line minus 360 for the Denver Nuggets, plus 295. 60 seconds on the clock. Will we see a triple-double tonight, John Jansen? Yes or no?
That's a good question. I think we do, because Bam was showing signs of fatigue, regression by the end of that series. He played awful in Game 7. I don't think it's being talked about enough how bad Bam Adebayo was in Game 7. And that was offensively, we talked about it, of course, but defensively, it wasn't even that good. And so I think Jokic is, first of all, he's a matchup nightmare for Bam Adebayo because he's a more physical, bigger guy, and Jokic is a smarter player. So I think taking that all into account, and then also the way Bam Adebayo has been playing recently, I just think Jokic's going to walk all over. So, yeah, I think triple-double's in play. I think he'll be close to those numbers by the half. I think he'll have close to 20 points by the half. I think he'll have close to 7-8 rebounds, and he'll have close to 7 8.
Minus 110 on DK for the yes. Will the Joker have a triple-double on the no? Minus 120. Good luck for everybody out there. We'll be hitting this game all throughout the course of today's show. We got some great guests coming your way, including a new gentleman who will be adding to the roster here in the 5 o'clock hour. Looking forward to getting the great Roy Burton on, our good friend Roy on, and he's been involved with a lot of things behind the scenes and talking, get involved on the threads. Yeah, good Twitter follow, does shows and has already made a name for himself. He did a post-game show with the Eagles a couple seasons ago on NBC Sports Philadelphia. So we're excited to make that announcement at 5:05 when Roy joins us. Football season right around the corner. 98 days from the 2023 NFL kickoff. Are you ready? Roy Burton will join us at 5:05. Also on a Thursday, We got Mark Henry Jr., who's fast on the way to a beach vacation. He's going to take the next week off. Do you know where he's going? It's Ocean City, Maryland. He's an OCMD guy.
I'm not. I'm an OCMD.
If you make me pick between the two, I'm going Maryland. Ocean City, Maryland versus Ocean City, New Jersey.
Ocean City, New Jersey I like Ocean City.
You want to go bar for bar? You want to go bar for bar? Go.
There's obviously no bars in Ocean City, New Jersey, but guess what's not far behind
What?
Ocean City, New Jersey?
What?
Just go to Sea Isle.
All right.
What is that, like a 10 to 15-minute drive?
I'm in Ocean City, Maryland. I don't have to drive. I can go to Secrets. I can go to Harker's Island.
Crappy boardwalk, and it's going to be brutal. At least Ocean City, New Jersey, I can enjoy the time with my family, my nieces and nephews during the day. We can do all the rides. We can do all the boardwalk things. Play mini golf. Get ice cream, all that stuff. Get good manco pizza, all that. Great environment. And then when I want to do my degenerate things, I can just go over to like Sea Isle or Atlantic City and do that.
All right. You made your case. I'd love to hear from the people. Ocean City, Maryland or Ocean City, New Jersey. New Jersey. I'm just looking at the TV right now. You got your boy Gottlieb.
You gotta fix his hair.
Boy, he don't sleep. Look at him. That's all he does is just talk.
Doug Gottlieb looks like a person that doesn't get sleep.
All he does.
Even if he is well rested and he doesn't work that hard, he still would look like he.
All he does is just give takes for a living. God bless America. It's the Daily Ticket. You got John Jansen. I'm Sean Brace. Other side, we'll keep the party going as far as the NBA Finals, but we have to mix in MLB. We got some live action, some scores that we like, some scores that we don't. We'll discuss them all, including the Phillies. And the question that I will ask John Jansen as we enter into the Diamond conversation here on Thursday's Daily Ticket. For some, today is the official start of the regular season for Major League Baseball. The Phillies right now to make the playoffs, yes or no on DraftKings Sportsbook. On the yes, plus 145. On the no, minus 170. Where do you stand? Jansen and I disagree. We'll give you our thoughts on the other side. It's the Daily Ticket. Back after this.
This report is sponsored by iHeartRadio Access Day. It's finally here. iHeartRadio Access Day has arrived. If you've been waiting for some amazing deals and unique experiences, today is your day. So make sure to check out iHeartRadioAccessDay.com and stay tuned for more throughout the day. Introducing Swiffer's Best Clean, the new Swiffer Power Mop. It's an all-in-one cleaning system that gives you the scrubbing power of a mop and bucket without the hassle. And today only, you can win a year's supply of Swiffer Power Mop. Just go to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com to enter. That's iHeartRadioAccessDay.com for your chance to win a year's supply of the new Swiffer Power Mop, so you can clean your home in half the time.
Tomorrow we got 10:30 Pops.
Yep.
I got a noon meeting. Most likely just going to take the day off, go Gottlieb. You handle everything else. We'll get a thing going. We need to get some new promos going.
Head to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com now to register for a chance to win. Today only. That's iHeartRadioAccessDay.com. Be sure to stay tuned for more throughout the day. Temu.com, that's TEMU.com, is giving you an exclusive opportunity to unlock a $100 spending spree on their app today only on iHeartRadio Access Day. Temu.com is the most downloaded app on the App Store, and this is your chance to get a $100 coupon bundle you can use on millions of items. All you have to do is download the Temu app, enter a promo code, and you'll have $100 you can use to treat yourself to the latest fashion, home goods, and beauty products. Just head over to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com today for your promo code. Then get started on your $100 Temu.com shopping spree. Picture the next big family memories you want to make together. Are you riding the newest roller coaster
God.
Tickets to Busch Gardens and SeaWorld, the only parks that combine the best theme park thrills with one-of-a-kind animal experiences. Even better, a portion of every ticket goes back to animal rescue and conservation. So go to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com today only to score up to 50% off tickets. Service fees, blackout dates, and other restrictions may apply.
Do you have shoeboxes full of photos? Today only, iHeartRadio Access Day listeners get VIP access to the new Photo Legacy Box. Get your family's photos professionally scanned for as low as 7 cents, which is 76% less than what other brands charge. As the world's largest digitizer, you know you can trust Legacy Box. Visit iHeartRadioAccessDay.com today to get 200 photos scanned starting at just $19.95. That's iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
It's big, 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 big. Our iHeartRadio Access Day, we call it that because it's access to great stuff, access to deals you can't beat, and some really cool experiences too.
You could be joining Ryan Seacrest for a VIP experience at our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival in Las Vegas, including tickets for both nights, all parts of iHeartRadio Access Day.
Head to iHeartRadio Access.
Sean's going to join us at 4:05. Talk Nick Nurse.
That's iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
Did you talk to Poe today?
Get Macy's lowest prices of the season on
I did not.
specials you need
I was running around too much
like
today.
50 to 70%.
I could try doing that. I could ask him now and see.
No, I wouldn't even worry about it. Let it go.
65% off luggage from Samsonite, Travel Pro, Delsey, and more. Plus, get your online order even faster with free curbside pickup or pickup in store at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices, exclusions apply.
Hey man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No, call Top Dog Law.
Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com.
We gotta believe that we can do something incredibly special, so that we can hit the ground running when we get to Denver. I like our chances.
I don't think there are many people out there that believe Miami can win it. I think there are a lot of people out there that believe, similar to what I am saying here to open up the show, I expect a competitive series. But what we're going to see is Denver always having the advantage. I believe in Jimmy Butler. I believe that this Miami Heat team is as good as advertised. You got a lot of players making shots. Spoelstra's the real deal. But, man, I can't get past how talented Denver is. And that's where my mind is at. I do expect this to be a really highly competitive series that only goes 5 games. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it goes 7. And I hope Miami takes game 1 tonight. I think their last 4 series, if I'm not, I believe it's the last 4 series, Miami Heat have won game 1. It's what they do. But you roll in that altitude, you roll in the fact that Joker is as good as, people are saying he's the best player in the world. Fine. Jamal Murray's no joke. I like Malone. The role players are playing really well for them. They're at home. They've had 9 days off. 9. That would hurt me, though, if I had 9 days off before an NBA final. It's just me specifically talking here. But
Everything hurts you.
but a professional athlete, I'm sure, they're going to use it.
9 days
To,
rest has to feel great.
good grief, does it? But then could that hurt them with the rust? If they weren't home, I might sit there and say, sure. But from the gambling standpoint, I can't talk myself into anything.
I can't gamble on it. For a team that's been a well-oiled machine now for the entire season and the postseason, that all of a sudden they're going to feel rust at some point.
Yeah.
I can't see that happening. And I can't. Maybe it does, but I can't bet on that because of how good they've been. Look, this team, and I think they're a matchup problem for Miami. That Miami doesn't have anybody that can match up with Jokic. Not many do. But at least you would see, at least some teams maybe have some size that can get after him. And Anthony Davis, I thought, did as best as he could against Jokic. They don't have anybody that can do that. And then on the other end of that, if you want to see, who can guard Jimmy Butler, Aaron Gordon fits that bill perfectly. And Aaron Gordon can just focus defensively on guarding Jimmy Butler. So I think they match up well. I think the guard play for Denver as well with Jamal Murray is going to cause a lot of problems for Miami. I think in every way, in the talent discrepancy that they face, the matchup problems that I think Denver possesses for Miami, and the fact that Denver's just been playing like the best team in the NBA almost all season long. I just don't see how Miami stops any of that.
All right, get involved in the conversation as always at Fox PHL Gambler on socials, at Fox PHL Gambler. Our Instagram is blowing up. Be sure to follow us over there. YouTube, Fox Sports The Gambler. We're all over the place. Just find us. Yeah. Wait till you see. Wait till you see. It's coming. Couple quick items first. I did put out there on the timeline. If you can vacay for a week at one of these spots where you're heading Ocean City, New Jersey, or Ocean City, Maryland, it's Ocean City, Maryland. But it's split right now. We got 30 plus votes and 51% right now for OCMD. Keep those coming. That's when I was growing up, when I was in high school, we never did the Jersey Shore. It was Ocean City, Maryland. For some reason, we never did the Jersey Shore. Well, no, it was more of a Scranton problem. Like all my friends, we all went to Ocean City, Maryland for senior week. And I had some just unbelievable times down there, underage, running around like a maniac. And now I have a daughter. Oh, what is life going to be like in 20 years? That is just going to be so tough. Well, it's.
I'm not even looking forward to next year. Go from my 20s to my 30s.
Oh, Lord, have mercy. Yeah. Hey, we got Nick Nurse. He was announced as the. No. I don't even know if he'll be here in 3 seasons from now, but we'll see. Yeah. Nick Nurse was announced as the 76ers new head coach today at 3 p.m. He spoke to the media, and we will have our Sixers insider, the great Sean Bernard, popping up on here at 4:05 to give us his takeaways, some items that he caught his attention, and some things that maybe he didn't want to hear at that point in time, or some interesting nuggets possibly that could lead us to what will be the resolution when it comes to James Harden, whether he'll be back here or not. So we'll get the lay of the land, all things Nick Nurse and the 76ers from Sean Bernard at 4:05. We got Mark Henry Jr. We'll talk NBA Finals with him. I even want some NFL questions. And at 5:05, speaking of NFL, Roy Burton. My guy, Roy. I'll tell you what, I am super excited to get him involved. We'll tell you exactly what that is in the 5 o'clock hour, 5:05. If you don't already, be sure to follow Roy at the BS Line, on socials. All right, let's get on over it. Broad Street. Was that a serious question? Okay. Nice.
That's cool. I like that because BS can mean multiple.
I'll open up the BS line.
You open that. You've been opening that up.
Take calls on the BS line. What we got? Yo, you know what I cooked last night? Roy's a little bit of he does it all. Yeah, this John Appetit. Isn't that a podcast that he does? Yep. A podcast, all things food in and around the city. I forget who he does it with. I'm pretty sure he still does it. So he's a foodie. He's a guy that, samples the goods around Philadelphia, around the surrounding areas. Last night, do you want to know what I cooked up last night? I got a cookbook.
I'm surprised you even up and cooking. Phillies lost.
Doesn't surprise me. So what I would say is, and we're going to get to the Phillies in just a second. I got a cookbook. Magnolia Lane. Do you know who those people are?
None of that.
Yeah, that's
none of what you just said.
Chip and Joanna. Do you know who they are?
It's getting worse.
All right.
Yeah. We're getting any closer to me.
So my wife ended up scoring this cookbook, and it's from Joanna. She's awesome. She's one of the best, on television. She made a whole, a monster out of what she does, her and Chip. And so the cookbook comes, and I mean, some really good recipes and just well written, thick like this. And it was broken out to like desserts, appetizers, salads, bread, blah, 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 blah. And I get to like the dinners, and it's like, man, these aren't all that difficult, right? But there are going to be some different things that I've ever done. I'm going to look you in the eye and tell you 2 things that I've never done before. And I did it this week. You ready? Number 1, I have never cooked with flour before. Never. Not to my knowledge, right? Like the last 10 years of my life, I have never.
Not to your knowledge. Did somebody like sneak the flour in?
Maybe I might have did some cutlets when I was like, 20, 25. I don't know. Mid 2000s. I used to think I was a little bit of a chef. I was Bobby. Whoa, tossing knives in the air. No, kid. So I cooked last night cod with some flour. Man, I'll tell you what, this thing was incredible. So good. So good. Just some flour, some onion powder in the flour. Boom, boom. Throw the cod in.
Onion powder, garlic.
Dude, I cooked my ass off last night. That cod was so good. So good. Little lemon, had some Brussels sprouts, money. All right. And then the other day, I cooked. It was sun-dried tomato chicken, some other, yeah. And the sun-dried tomato was like a puree. I pureed. I've never done that before. I blended something to the point that like I made a puree, if I'm saying that right.
That's because I already have a tough time with multitasking.
So they're so easy.
But I don't know. Now you're adding like other equipment in. I don't even think I have a good enough like puree or blender. I think a lot of cooking comes down to, do you have the ingredients and are they good ingredients? And also, do you have the necessary tools?
Absolutely.
For the most part.
Well, you can't just go guns blazing into a cook and like, hey, I wonder if I got that pot. No, you set everything up. That's the how you cook. You got to be organized.
Go out and get like a pureer thing?
No, because as long as you have a knife, you can get everything to where you need it to be. The consistency. You got a knife, you got a fork. Yeah. Well, put your wrist into it. All right. Anyway, so yeah, I've been cooking. I've been cooking really good lately, and now more than ever with inflammation and all that nonsense, I gotta be eating better. I gotta lose some weight. Nice. I gotta lose some pounds, lose some weight here. Stop me if you heard that before. But there's a big difference this time around. Yeah, that's the and we're not going back. All right. Folks, once again at Fox Sports, The Gambler on YouTube, at Fox PHL Gambler. What are you cooking? I want to hear from people out there. What are you cooking these days? Absolutely. The eggs is like one of my favorite items to eat. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Fried eggs, sunny side up, big sunny side up guy. There's a lot of different ways to make it. So eggs are pretty versatile.
What are you cooking? This is what we do on a daily ticket. I kid. Let's get on over to the Diamond. We got a jam-packed 4 o'clock hour and into the 5 o'clock hour, Roy Burns. So we're having some fun here. But we'll talk about the fighting Phillies and the lack of the fight for the Phillies at this point in time. Now, Drew Smith, our good friend from deliveryline.com. Wow, we were wacky yesterday. That was.
You actually went back and
I listened to it.
Oh, what? I will never go back.
Yeah, Drew is. Wow. I mean, the things he was saying was kind of like, I could see it happening, but I don't know, man. He's got a point where, like, hey, if you didn't want to get the vaccination, you were. Look, there were plenty of loudmouths on the other side, which made the conversations non-existent, right? So that's the unfortunate part. But even if you question, it was like, oh, shame on you because we were told that if you get the vaccine, where everything's going to be fine. When clearly it wasn't. But getting the vaccine was the right thing to do. But you could see how the chip conversation would come up and how everybody needs to have a chip. And then if you don't get the chip, then you would be the bad guy. And so Drew had my brain going. But he just went off the deep end because he continued. And, next thing you know, we were in Transformers. And I'm like, no, that's not going to happen.
But I think there are 2 conversations that always scare me the most. Is like AI stuff, because I don't know, we've seen so many warnings about it and all this like doomsday scenarios.
It's the truth.
and space. Anything I read about space scares the absolute hell out of me.
Well, space is the ultimate frontier. We just don't know what's out there.
I don't want to know what's out there. I don't know if aliens exist. Great, I don't care. I don't want to know.
So,
but like the fact that they're just like you could see what's happening billions of light years away and seeing like planets, like all the anything about space just terrifies the heck out of me.
Okay.
It's too big. It's like my mind is too small to wrap around something just so big.
Would you?
Like, my mind just can't handle it.
Would you go to space if Jeff Bezos said, "I have an open spot"? Would you go into space? Really?
But no, I like her.
What's Jeff? What did Jeff Bezos do wrong? Like
He's Jeff Bezos. He's a billionaire CEO.
times 50.
Yeah. Do I have to like him because of that?
I think Jeff Bezos is one of those guys that's earned his keep, right? Like that's the thing about Jeff Bezos for me. I don't. You can go to Ocean City, New Jersey with Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg. Who you choosing? All right. Damn it. Let me get to the question. We got to talk about some sports here. All right. The question is simple. Folks, if you're a Phillies fan, I got to hear from you right now. It's the official start of the MLB regular season. It's June 1st. Whack. Play ball. The Phillies right now on DraftKings Sportsbook to make the playoffs. It's a plus 145. On the no, it's minus 170. Where do you stand? John Jansen, you say what? Will the Phillies make the playoffs this year? Couldn't disagree with you more.
Of course.
No, and we're not doing it just for the sake of disagreeing here.
Just always disagree with
Well,
we fundamentally disagree.
I just don't understand how you could look at this team right now and look and
looked at the Phillies team last year and thought,
oh, come on. So that's all you have? That's all you have?
Talent. You have great players. You have players
Who aren't producing.
Okay, they're eventually going to produce. If you just think all these players are going to have career bad years, I mean, and this would be a career worst for Trey Turner. I mean, by a mile.
I think that's all you need.
It's a career worst.
I think that's
Kyle Schwarber's going to have a career worst, and JT Realmuto is going to have a career worst. Then sure.
I just don't know what else you're going to get because things are really, really bleak. The averages, what we're seeing right now. Yes, I do expect Trey Turner to continue to struggle or Schwarber to have a really bad season, one or the other. Hell, both might actually happen. But if you're making me make a choice here, I'll say Trey Turner comes somewhat around. Agreed. Schwarber, I don't care about average as long as he's hitting the ball out of the yard. How many home runs does he have right now?
His slugging is nowhere.
All right.
It just dipped under 400.
And on top of that, how could you sit there and be confident about the starting pitching? Like that's really what's going on right now.
I'm not confident about. You're asking me to make the playoffs, though. If I want to talk about further than that, then yeah, we can talk about.
Well, you're not making the playoffs if you don't get better starting pitching.
You can make the playoffs with the starting pitching.
Not this
Zach
year.
Wheeler's looking like the top line starter.
All right, he has his moments. But can you bank on Aaron Nola to be the guy that you want him to be at this point in time?
Taiwan Walker's not going to be 6 ERA. He's going to be a fine number 4. And you have one of the best bullpens in baseball. I mean, I think you can win if your lineup gets to what it is, and we know it can be really good. There are too many good players in that lineup not to be a good lineup. And so that eventually turns around. And once you have that paired with the bullpen, you know, I get starting rotation's a problem, but during the regular season, I think they can work with it.
All right.
And they can certainly bolster it up. I think.
That's the question. The official start of the MLB regular season happens today. Of course, the Phillies just lost again to the Mets, but putting that to the side, who cares? They got a long way to go, plenty of season to be played here. But on the yes and no, if I made you make a wager on DraftKings Sportsbook, are you hitting the plus money? Or are you going to say, you know what, I'm going to go with the Fabe here. They're not going to make the playoffs this year. It's just really tough with the teams that are popping up out of nowhere. And, of course, you got teams that are struggling that I think are going to find their stride. St. Louis isn't going to be as bad as they are to start the season come August. I know pitching, question mark, but still, it's St. Louis, right? And talk about the West, the Padres. They're 8 games out of first place in the West right now. They cannot be that bad. They can't be. Who's their manager? Melvin? I'd fire him today. That team is a disgrace. The amount of money that they have, He's been there for 3 seasons. What have they
Again,
done?
another talented roster. And even Juan Soto's playing. So Juan Soto was a big concern after a month because he didn't play well once he got traded and then started off the season so poorly. And you go, whoa, okay, what happened to the best player in baseball that they thought they were getting?
Right.
He's looked like the best player in baseball the past month. So yeah, I mean, Padres certainly are dealing with issues as well, but that's another one where they're too talented not to turn that around.
All right. That's Sean Jansen. I'm Sean Brace. Other side, we had a huge item come to our table, about 11 a.m. this morning. We got the announcement that the Sixers were making a special press conference at 3 p.m. or holding a special press conference. Of course, it was to announce Nick Nurse as the next coach for the Philadelphia 76ers. Our go-to, our insider, all things NBA and Sixers right here on The Gambler is Sean Bernard. He's going to join us for the best of, as far as the highlights from the press conference is concerned, what he liked, what was concerning, what did he say about having James Harden back, and of course, Joel Embiid. We all know we can win with Joel Embiid, but can we win an NBA championship? First and foremost, definitely want to hear his thoughts on James Harden. Number 2 is, what is he assessing the struggles that Joel Embiid has dealt with year after year, and specifically if you had an opportunity to watch this year's series against the Celtics.
Absolutely. Address the playoff performances and especially what would happen in this game.
And I would also,
I think that's what I want to hear.
And I know all the media members down there do a great job covering the 76ers, so I'm sure all those questions would be covered, and I would hope that maybe there was an avenue that I could get in with a question specifically to a mental edge, right? Like, to me, professional athletes, these guys are all on the same playing field. They're the best of the best. They've been the best in their high schools, their colleges. To get to the NBA, it's just another level. You're talking about space, stars, planets, like just, to win an NBA championship or to make the NBA. It just is so difficult. So what is the big difference? It's the mental edge. Is there a way that you can get more out of said players that are currently with the Sixers from just a mental edge? I would somewhere have a question around that. Also, X's and O's, what makes him different than other coaches out there, specifically Coach Bud or Monty Williams, who got paid? Come on down. Yeah, if you're going to go coach in Detroit, you're going to throw an extra couple of zeros on there. That's for damn sure. Sean Bernard, what's he making? 80 million? 80 million.
Yeah, I think I saw 76 million.
Who's the highest paid coach in the NBA?
It's not Monty Williams. That is a large company.
I would say Pop. He just beat out Pop. Monty Williams is the highest paid coach due to annual value, $13.05. Pop makes $13 million. Steve Kerr 9.5. Spoelstra 8.5. If I'm Spoelstra, I demand a raise tomorrow. No. Correct. And then you could do media and you're still getting paid. And life is great, man. No, I'm going to run for president. It's the Daily Ticket. Sean Bernard. Let's talk some Sixers. Other side, 4:30. Mark Henry Jr., 5:05. Roy Burton. Back at this.
Download the Timu app, enter a promo code, and you'll have $100 you can use to treat yourself to the latest fashion, home goods, or beauty products. Just head over to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com today for your promo code. Then get started on your $100 Timu.com shopping spree.
Today is iHeartRadio Access Day. We've got incredible one-of-a-kind deals and unique experiences for you all day long. You could be joining us, Steve Covino and Rich Davis from Fox Sports Radio's Covino and Rich, for the virtual bachelor party of a lifetime, all part of iHeartRadio Access Day.
Head to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
The virtual
now
bachelor
to
party?
register
What?
for a chance to win today only. That's iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
Check out iHeartRadioAccessDay.com right now and stay tuned for more throughout the day.
CarVision.com is the local presenting partner for iHeartRadio Access Day. Check out special offers and giveaways at iHeartRadioAccessDay.com. For access to the best buying experience in over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles, count on CarVision. Visit one of their 4 locations or CarVision.com.
Picture the next big family memories you want to make together. Are you riding the newest roller coasters, or are you up close and personal with some of the world's most magnificent animals? If the answer is yes, then go to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com now to score up to 50% off tickets to Busch Gardens and SeaWorld, the only parks that combine the best theme park thrills with one-of-a-kind animal experiences. Even better, a portion of every ticket goes back to animal rescue and conservation. So go to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com today only to score up to 50% off tickets. Service fees, blackout dates, and other restrictions may apply. I want to go to a concert tonight, but the prices are so expensive. Have you tried Game Time? What's Game Time? It's only the hottest ticket app in the country right now. With Game Time, you can score last-minute deals on concerts, games, shows, everything. Wow, Game Time sounds awesome. It is.
Today only, go to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com to get a code for $20 off your first Game Time ticket order. That's $20 off your first ticket order at iHeartRadioAccessDay.com. New users only. $150 minimum purchase. Can only be redeemed once. Cannot be combined with any other promo.
The world is always on, but you shouldn't be. But just sleep to bed. During Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale, get a king for the price of a queen and save up to $700 on ceiling. Shop now at Mattress Firm. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Today is the day. iHeartRadio Access Day has arrived. We've got some amazing deals and unique experiences waiting for you. So check out iHeartRadioAccessDay.com right now and stay tuned for more throughout the day.
This is Eric Dickerson. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by iHeartRadio Access Day.
The Nuggets and the Heat now both just 4 wins away from an NBA title. Finals begin tonight in Denver, who swept Miami during the regular season. Phillies infielder Alec Bohm will miss at least the next week plus after going on the injured list. He's got a hamstring injury suffered earlier this week. And after spending his final NFL season with the Eagles, punter Brett Kern retired today. Kern played most of his career with Tennessee.
Eagles legend, Brett Kern.
The wait is over. Today is iHeartRadio Access Day. 24 hours of incredible, one-of-a-kind deals and unique experiences for you. Just head over to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com to check out some of the great specials from our partners and stay tuned for more.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic.
iHeartRadio Access Day.
For example, the Vine Expressway westbound.
What's that?
The Schuylkill Road, a westbound Schuylkill
Right.
University
Danny
Boulevard,
Grady.
Boulevard, Belmont. Eastbound backed up Montgomery Drive to south. And the northbound Jam Vine Expressway up the bridge and southbound Jam Coffin Bridge. All right, Keller.
Oh, shit.
This report is sponsored by iHeartRadio Access Day. The wait is over. Today is iHeartRadio Access Day. 24 hours of incredible, one-of-a-kind deals and unique experiences for you. Just head over to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com to check out some of the great specials from our partners and stay tuned for more.
Temu.com, that's TEMU.com, is giving you an exclusive opportunity to unlock a $100 spending spree on their app today only on iHeartRadio Access Day. Temu.com is the most downloaded app on the App Store, and this is your chance to get a $100 coupon bundle you can use on millions of items. All you have to do is download the Temu app, enter a promo code, and you'll have $100 you can use to treat yourself to the latest fashion, home goods, and beauty products. Just head over to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com today for your promo code. Then get started on your $100 Temu.com shopping spree.
You've probably been hearing us talking about it for a while now, but today it's here. It's our iHeartRadio Access Day. Are you ready to experience these one-of-a-kind deals from our partners? All these unique experiences. Very cool. Check out iHeartRadioAccessDay.com right now. You could experience everything the free iHeartRadio app has to offer with a 1-year subscription to iHeartRadio All Access.
Head to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com now to register for a chance to win.
You got any more remotes that you're doing?
No, I just know Sunday.
I talked to. Do you know if that's power or DAS yet?
I do not know.
I mean, yeah. I did say in the meeting today that you're doing that. So
What they say? Oh, that's terrible.
no, it's great. Get that money. Money, 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 money.
Optimized by science.
Put a frog in boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in cool water and slowly heat it up. That frog will boil. As veterans, we tell ourselves the lie that we can handle anything. We let the water boil. You are not a frog. If you are a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach. Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
What's up? It's a Target trend alert. New swim has just arrived and it's sunny weather approved. If you're into bikinis or one pieces, high waists or cutouts, they're the perfect combo of trendy, flattering, and affordable. That's right. And there are so many cool styles with gorgeous details. These suits have macrame, crochet, wood beads, pretty shells, and more. Totally a luxe for less vibe. Yes, so dive in and shop this Target trend without the spend.
Join Philadelphia Council member Kenyatta Jansen and Pennsylvania State Representative Jordan Harris for the Point Breeze Night Market on Wednesday, June 2nd from 4 to 10 p.m. along the 1200.
There he is. What up, dog?
How we doing?
Oh, loaded question these days, Sean Bedard. You should know better than that. All right, let's rock and roll. You the man. Appreciate popping up on here, dude. All right. You know, Nick Nurse at today's press conference said that the 76ers could very well still be playing. Now,
Yeah, the problem is, Sean.
Yep. Is it okay that Nick Nurse said that, though?
He should be.
His team's good. Team's good. Are they championship caliber good? No. They have holes. They are flawed. But, yeah, aren't we all? You know? We are all a little flawed. I don't even know what that means because I think I've been doing all right. I feel okay right now. Got my treatment. Yesterday was bad. Yesterday was brutal. Yesterday, if you listen to yesterday's show, I was affected on the air by what took place pre-show from the whole physical therapy, all of that. Like, I wasn't prepared to be hurting from PT. I don't know if that's stupidity. It is. Probably should be. Yeah, I just thought I'd be able to come in and do the show. Everything was good. I was like, I'm dying right now. Your thoughts on the 76ers? I am literally in pain. Like, come on, man. Give me the 6 o'clock. Anyways, I'm going to shut up now because we got Sean Bernard on the line. He's on the Gambler Hotline. He covers all things 76ers for us here on the Gambler, all things NBA as well. We got an NBA Finals Game 1. I was trying to give you the day off, Sean, get you on for tomorrow's show. But here we are, Nick Nurse out of nowhere. We find out that he's going to be announced at 3 p.m. today. It came and went. Some highlights for you, though. What was one of the first items that Nick Nurse, as far as a message put out to the Philadelphia media and the fan base that caught your attention? Let's give us something from Nick Nurse's mouth that you liked today. What did he say about James Harden? Because John and I, a couple days ago, when it was initially announced, I said the first item of business that he needs to figure out, of course, is what are you going to do with James Harden? How are you going to move that deal along? Are you going to be able to replace him? So on and so forth. So I think James Harden is item number one as far as the checklist is concerned. I don't know if you disagree or agree with that, but what did he say about James Harden returning in a Sixers uniform?
Any discussion on playoff woes and how he does plan to attack that? Because the Sixers have obviously the playoff bug has bitten them a little bit.
Hmm. All right. Well, Nick Nurse, of course, we know he's going to say all the right things. Daryl Morey, I don't know. I think he could be honest, and maybe some press would probably get in his crawl, and maybe get an honest answer out of him. So I'm curious, what did Daryl Morey have to say? Did he say anything that caught your attention today? Mm. Yeah, the big one for me, and you and I spoke about this a number of times, where, and I am on your side. I'm not trying to say that I disagree with this by no means, but ultimately, we Daryl Morey gets on the podium and says this is going to be a process to find the right guy. To my knowledge, they interviewed two guys. I don't know if he spoke specifically more about other candidates. I probably don't think he did. Therefore, because Nick Nurse was right next to him, why talk about anybody else? The guy that got the job is right next to you. But as far as the process, you're telling us one thing a week ago where you have to interview all these candidates, yet you only brought in two people to our knowledge, and Nick Nurse gets the gig. Did Daryl Morey address that at all? Yep. All right, Sean _ Bernard 1. He's all over this hire for the 76ers. What does it mean for Maxey? What does it mean for Joel Embiid, Harden, all of that and more? Be sure to follow Sean once again at Sean _ Bernard 1. Sean, while you're here, can't get you out of here without a thought or two on NBA Finals Game 1 this evening. 8.5-point spread. Everything is popping up in favor of the Denver Nuggets. How do you see this one playing out this evening? Do you think we'll have a good game come fourth quarter, about 5 minutes left? One player not named Joker or Jimmy Butler or Jamal Murray that you think could be or should be a play, whether it's the same game parlay or somebody that you're going to follow throughout the course of this series. Give me one player that will be the difference maker for whatever team that you are planning on backing here. Yep. All right. Well, game 1 this evening. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to breaking it down with you for the next couple of weeks here next week. Let's put it that way. On the Daily Ticket. The 76ers conversation will never end. So, Sean Bernard, you're stuck with us throughout the course of summer, talking all things Nick Nurse and the 76ers. I know.
James Harden. Where is James Harden?
Yeah. All right. I like it. Sean, always a pleasure. Good luck on your plays tonight. We'll catch up tomorrow, sir. My man, there he is. Once again, Sean Bernard on the Gambler Hotline. Nick Nurse, now the head coach of the Philadelphia 76ers, and I like it. I like it. It definitely feels something like there's a change, right? It's not Doc Rivers and
It's just
something different, and it was a must. I'm glad Daryl Morey didn't really say too much. Hopefully Josh Harris didn't say a word. He's the owner of the franchise. He's the mouthpiece. Who knows? He's got a Devils team. He's got a team in DC. Who knows? Look, at the end of the day, all we should care about as far as ownership is concerned is whether or not they're getting the players, right? And I guess if I'm fair about it, the 76ers are getting their players. I don't think of too many players that are saying, no, I'm not going there because of, front office issues or Josh Harris. I do believe it's more of a corporate feel for the Sixers than other franchises are out there, but who cares? Again, it's all about the contract. It's all about the money. And if they're paying up, players will want to come here. All right, coming up on the other side, we'll continue the conversation on all things NBA Finals with our guy, Mark Henry Jr., host of the Tough Cover Show every Saturday. As I'm glancing down at the timeline, I see President Biden fell at the U.S. Air Force Academy graduation ceremony. I mean, my man's 80 plus years old. Can we just, I feel for the guy at this point in time, right? Like, come on, man. You did your job. We'll salute you, sir. It's time to move on. Like, just tripped. I'm sure everyone's going to handle that with cooler heads.
Sure.
Yeah, cool heads.
Nobody in the world has ever tripped before.
Well, I just, like, dude, just go. Like, it's all good, Joe. You did your thing, man. Just ride off, bro.
Yeah, I love it.
Just too old, man.
He is.
It's
But
just
then
too
what?
old.
The next guy's going to be just
Well,
old.
if he goes, that means a woman takes over. Yeah, you can.
Right now, just be like, I tripped and fell. I'm out.
I'm time to
Time to go.
You know, I only got a few more years left on this
Yeah,
planet.
you know,
I'd rather be spending it in Delaware.
Told me some things that maybe this isn't for me.
All right.
Anymore,
I don't know.
How hard was that trip? You know what? Now it's time to go.
I don't want to see anybody fall like that, especially when they're 80 plus years old. All right. It's the Daily Ticket. We'll keep it moving. We'll get back over to the sports world. Mark Henry Jr. at 4:30. Roy Burton at 5:05. Don't miss that one. Back after this.
Oh, yeah, I feel tired.
Almost there.
Almost there. Sean.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Today's the day.
So check out iHeartRadioAccessDay.com right now and stay tuned for more throughout the day.
It is 4:30 on the dot. Fox Sports Radio, the Gambler. This weekend, busy weekend for your boy.
Oh, this is what you're doing.
I'm gonna be all handicapped all weekend long. Tomorrow, I am.
To get like a motorized scooter to go around?
Well, tomorrow I'm heading to see Chappelle with the Roots at the Wells Fargo Center, and we are rolling with a pretty big group. I think like 14 of us, if I'm not mistaken. So we got a suite. Oh, this is way above your price range.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't even ask you.
Thanks.
Wouldn't even ask you.
Thanks, guy who employs me.
Wouldn't even ask you. I almost my wife almost slid the divorce papers across the dinner table the other night when I told her. Yeah. Well, these tickets are not cheap, and I think he's sold out. It's going to be an amazing show. It's Chappelle, the best, the GOAT, and then the Roots are just going to rip the arena up. And I don't think I've ever seen the Roots at Wells Fargo Center. This would be a first, if I'm not mistaken. Have I ever seen them at the Wells Fargo Center? I don't think so. Seen Borgata, the Met, seen them all over like smaller spots, but never at Wells Fargo Center. Huh. I wonder if they never played Powerhouse. Did the Roots never play at Powerhouse? We never think that. I'm sure they did back in the late 90s, maybe early 2000s, especially here in Philly. But I don't know. Tomorrow night's going to be awesome. Chappelle and the Roots. And then Saturday, waking up early Saturday and getting family photos.
Oh,
How about that?
oh no.
Why?
Family photos.
Well, I'm upset because the wife booked these things like 2 months ago, and there's a pretty big Manchester derby going on tomorrow at 10 a.m. So right smack dab in the middle of that, I'll be getting family photos, which I look forward to. It's a beautiful day tomorrow. Oh man, I mean, have a kid, it changes everything.
I'm sure it will.
Have a kid, it changes everything. She's gonna get excited. They got matching outfits, all that good stuff. So that's going on Saturday, and then Sunday, 3/11 at the Atlantic City Beer Festival, rocking and rolling. My guy Buster, we're gonna be acting up in AC all Sunday afternoon long, and I just hope that I continue to progress and get better. And I'm sure that going out 2 out of the 3 next nights will be absolutely helpful in the road to recovery, right? Yeah. Anyways, enough of that. Let's head out to the Gambler Hotline. Let's talk to Mark Henry Jr. You hear him every Saturday right here on the Gambler, host of the Tough Cover Radio Show from 11 to 1. A good afternoon to you today, Mark. How we doing as you are ready to go on vacay tomorrow, my friend? How you feeling? Amen. Yeah, weather's perfect. If I made you make a play on yes or no, Phillies make the playoffs. Minus 170 on the no, plus 145 on the yes. DraftKings Sportsbook, Phillies, yes or no, will they make the playoffs? Mark Henry Jr. Nice. Nice. It's hard to argue. It really is. And, we got a long way to go as far as this season is concerned. I look at what we've gotten so far, just as far as the bats. And I'll give you Trey Turner comes back around. I still don't think that that's just going to end all be all and get everybody going, but we'll see. I'm also concerned about the starting pitching, right? Like Wheeler looked great. You get a good start from Nola, and then he gives up 5 runs in the next. So it's just hasn't been there. Ranger Suarez, a question mark as he's coming back. So there's just a lot of question marks that push me at this point in time to the no. And oh, by the way, you got teams that I think will be better that would be better in the next 2 or 3 months that are going to rise up and make life difficult for teams that are in pursuit for a wild card. So I'm actually on the other side. We don't see eye to eye on that one. You and Jansen do agree, though, that the Phillies will make the playoffs on the yes. All right. Mark Henry Jr. joining us right now on the Gambler Hotline, host of the Tough Cover Show every Saturday from 11 to 1, except for this Saturday. Well, you're going to be on the air. I apologize because we got Green Legion Radio going live at noon. You're going to have a 1 hour show from 11 to noon on Saturday. All right. Hey, I wanted to squeeze this in because we did have some news, and this is the first time that I've actually talked about college basketball since we crowned a national champion back in early April. But Zach Edey returning to Purdue for his senior season. You can get Purdue 12-1 to win it all right now. I mean, dude, he's the most dominant player in college basketball last year. Will Purdue finally make it to a Final Four this year with Zach Edey, Mark Henry Jr.? Wow. All right. Well, it's going to Arizona. That's the last thing I paid attention to. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Very odd that would be the case. It's like, wait a minute, come on, man. And he's only coming for a semester. He's coming for a basketball season. Make it happen, right? Like, Do grades even matter anymore? Or isn't it just all about, getting them paid?
I mean, isn't UNC a school that you need to have pretty good
Well,
grades?
we know what the past has
Oh,
been
really?
for UNC. Rashad McCants on line one. Rashad McCants on line
Caleb Love takes
one.
those classes.
Exactly. All right, let's talk about some action on the hardwood this evening. NBA Finals Game 1, Mark Henry Jr. Tell you what, I want it. I really do. I want a good series. I want Miami to take Game 1. I want, everyone to eat their words, the analytics, the 3%. It's probably even worse. It's got to be worse, right? Than what it was for the Boston Celtics as far as ESPN analytics are concerned. So, no. Okay. I want a good series. I don't know if we're going to get that. I do think we have some competitive games, but after it's all said and done, if you're making me make a selection right now, I'd probably go Denver in 5. Where do you stand on Game 1 this evening and the series as a whole? Wow. Yes, you are. Bogus. Bogus. Why? Wow. So you got Sweep City, number 1. Number 2 is you're not even interested in a dribble, he said. Joker going for a triple-double in every game doesn't do anything for you. Jimmy Butler putting his team on his back. Yes. Nobody's saying he's doing it on his own, but he deserved the MVP. He was the best player for that team. Oh, come on. Yeah, well, I get it. Well, I'm disappointed that you're not going to watch the damn finals tonight. I just am blown away.
You sound like sour grapes.
Hey, we got.
Would you really?
Yeah. Yeah, I heard PJ Carlissimo on the on ESPN radio this morning, and he was like, "You people that had Joker or had Embiid over Joker as far as MVP this season is concerned, what is the matter with you?"
Okay, you know what?
I'm like, "Wow,
I'll
dude."
leave off with
Yeah,
What
exactly.
happened the last 2 years when Jokic did nothing in the playoffs? Should he have deserved those 2 MVPs?
Oh man, you are fired up. I love it.
Let's go.
He's going on vacation. He's got that.
Rocket really needs it.
He's got that extra juice. That's what it's all about, right there. You know?
Oh, that freedom.
Yeah. Oh
That
yeah.
day before
Yeah.
vacation juice.
It's like a pre-wedding beer. You know, it's like that beer tastes great when you're about to go to a wedding or first happy hour beer on a Friday. The day before the vacation, it's nothing better, right? Nothing irks you. You're like, I gotta go to store, buy toothpaste and some shampoo. Cool. All right, let me go do that. Yep. Yeah. Ocean City, Maryland, calling your name. That's all right. I like it. And we got some new shows happening behind the scenes that you're definitely going to be taking part in and that you're going to thrive in. I can't wait. We'll get you out of here on this one. We did have some fun with the folks that are following us on the timeline. And Jansen did not hold back on this. Totally disagree with him on this one. But he says if he had to pick one for a week as far as vacation is concerned, he would go with Ocean City, New Jersey over Ocean City, Maryland. He is so far wrong on that answer. Mark, why? What makes Ocean City, Maryland, the place for you, sir? Ooh, nice. Attaboy. Yeah. It's weird. Yeah. Yeah, we did one trip one time, and it really
There are two beer distributors and liquor stores that are right outside.
understood. Well, that's what I was saying. It wasn't. It really wasn't that. Yeah. What?
And then you go in.
Yeah, it wasn't a big deal for us, but at the same time, I do like to have the options of bars, and maybe I want to have a beer with my.
Outside, Summers Point, you can go to.
Yeah, but it's not in that's just a strike against you. If you're telling me that I can get a beer in Ocean City, Maryland, and I can't.
To the Jersey Shore just to go to bars. I do that at home.
Damn right they do. The best.
Why are bars the only thing that makes a shore trip?
I'm not telling you it's the only thing, but it's got to be part of the equation.
But that's the only thing you're weighing heavily here, is that Ocean City, New Jersey doesn't have it, and these places do.
The Polish ice. The hell is Polish ice?
Polish ice is pretty good.
Well, I think I like what's the difference between Polish ice and water ice? What's going on there?
Yes, it's very smooth. Yeah. It's so good.
Oh, all right. Yeah. I got you. I've definitely had Polish ice before. All right. Yeah. Amen. Let's go stand in the water. Everyone's peeing around you. Harker's Island. Oh yeah.
I go to Secrets just for a day and then leave. I don't need to stay in Ocean City, Maryland. Just go to Secrets every day. If you're gonna go, make sure you.
That's why there's 1,000,001 other places to choose from. Nick Bacone checking in. Yes, we love Charlie's in Summers Point.
It's a great spot.
It's got unbelievable wings, no doubt. I'm with you, Nick. I'm just telling you, if you made me make a decision, I'm gonna go with the place that has watering holes.
I think when you went to 34th Street, yesterday's is right there. That's a great spot.
Yesterday.
That's actually where I watched App State beat Michigan.
How about it? How about it? Mark Henry Jr., you have yourself a wonderful trip. Have a couple cold ones. Pick a couple winners. Enjoy the NBA Finals game one. It's going to be a good game.
Drink? Is it cold ones? Like you don't.
What do you mean?
Mark just said he doesn't like to drink.
Okay. Well, I haven't had a drink in 3 weeks. How about that? Yeah, tell me about it. My wife was like, I don't think I've went through a weekend without having seen you drink a beer, and then now I'm. No booze. No, I haven't boozed because of the back being hurt. Yeah. No, it was good. No, it was good. Nice. All right, Mark. Hey, man. Safe travels, my friend. Looking forward to the hour show on Saturday. As always, good luck on your plays. Woo! That's right. There he is. Oh, man. There he is, Mark Henry Jr. Yes, I have. Well, first of all, we're going to Vegas. That's a vacation.
That's a work thing.
Yeah, but it's
not. I know it's going to be fun. It's still work. I can't be in vacation mode if I'm doing it. I get to have fun for sure. I will have fun, but we're going there to work.
Yeah.
I can't be in vacation mode.
It's Vegas. Like, come on, relax. It's Vegas.
No.
It's like I'm going and yeah.
Do anything. I don't want to do any work stuff. I don't want to be on social media. I don't want to do anything.
Oh, I understand. But there's a little combo of everything. That's coming in August. So I'm going away. I'm doing Avalon for 4th of July weekend, after 4th of July. So like the 6th through the 9th. The Windrift and the Icona. So we're doing that, and then we have we bumped it up. We'll be gone away the Labor Day weekend. So normally we go away the week after Labor Day. Well, we got it Labor Day week. So I'm not missing the first week of season. I'll be doing remote shows, but
so you're not going to be here for the first week of the season.
Dude, we got a long way to go. All right. And wait, hang on.
You take off for the draft. You take off for the first week of the NFL season. You take off during the worst times of the sports calendar.
Now, that's not fair. That's not fair.
That is completely fair.
So, hang on.
You going to take off during the Super Bowl, too?
Kiss my ass. Where's the schedule at? Hang on. When do we start?
September 7th.
And what is that? That's a Sunday?
No, that's a Thursday. Isn't September 7th the Lions and Chiefs?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, talking about the Eagles. So the Eagles are on September 10th. So I am gone away that Sunday to Sunday. I return September 10th. Game on the road. I think we're going to be doing some road things. Correct. So that Thursday night, we'll be back because we're going to be doing Thursday night streams, stuff like that. So, it is what it is. I'll just make it work. What do you mean? You don't? I bet you.
You're going to be in vacation mode. You're not going to want to be anywhere near this. You're going to leave it all up to me.
I bet you right now our Thursday night streams get picked up this year.
I don't even have a vacation plan.
Well, you should probably get something on the books for.
Actually, I do have one.
End of July, early August. If I was to give you a little suggestion there in your tip box.
Well, I'm taking 1 July.
That a boy.
I'm going to North Carolina.
All right, Roy Burton.
I gotta make a jersey. Ocean City, New Jersey.
We've talked ball with Roy a few times. I definitely know one time he's been on the show before, where we talked Eagles and NFL. He's a big-time Philadelphia sports fan, but he is all over the NFL. And we're going to be doing some bigger things with Roy coming up for this upcoming season. And we're excited to make that announcement on the other side when Roy Burton makes his return to the Daily Ticket right here on The Gambler. Do not go anywhere. 5 o'clock hour. Back after this. Damn. Yeah, I'm on that week. So Thursday will be the Chiefs and the Lions. So I'm hoping that we'll be live streaming there.
Is that going to catch on, you think? We're gonna get something for that.
Hopefully, better.
This report is sponsored by iHeartRadio Access Day. Get ready for an unforgettable day. Today is iHeartRadio Access Day. Your favorite iHeartRadio stations are offering incredible one-of-a-kind deals and unique experiences you won't want to miss. Head to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com to see what our partners have in store for you. Temu.com, that's TEMU.com, is giving you an exclusive opportunity to unlock a $100 spending spree on their app today only on iHeartRadio Access Day. Temu.com is the most downloaded app on the App Store, and this is your chance to get a $100 coupon bundle you can use on millions of items. All you have to do is download the Temu app, enter a promo code, and you'll have $100 you can use to treat yourself to the latest fashion, home goods, or beauty products. Just head over to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com today for your promo code. Then get started on your $100 Temu.com shopping spree.
News today is iHeartRadio Access Day.
Jesus Christ.
One-of-a-kind deals and unique experiences all day long.
You could be joining
Tired of hearing about it.
Cowherd in LA to experience a live broadcast of The Herd with Colin Cowherd. You can even hop in his chair to take a pic. All part of iHeartRadio
Ew.
Access Day.
Head to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
Hop in his chair to take a pic?
To win today only. That's iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
Be sure to stay tuned for more throughout the day.
How we feel in the morning sets the scene for our entire day. That's why Daily Harvest is a game changer. Daily Harvest delivers delicious smoothies, flatbreads, harvest bowls, and more.
Flatbreads.
Built on fruits and veggies. With easy to prep options, Daily Harvest keeps your freezer stocked with good food that's ready when you are. Daily Harvest works directly with farmers to source the best ingredients and freezes them at peak ripeness to lock in flavor and nutrients. Right now, receive $50 off your first Daily Harvest box plus free shipping. Redeem offer at iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
Take as little as 3 minutes to see if you can save on motorcycle insurance with Progressive. Come on, you've spent more time than that thinking about helmets with faces on them.
I should get a new helmet. Maybe I'll get one of those ones that looks like a face with painted teeth and eyebrows, you know? Oh, that always looks so cool. People are like, oh, is that a person with two faces? Oh, no, it's a helmet and one face.
Get a quote in as little as 3 minutes at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
Ray Mayotte here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. But it still doesn't fit. Well, you could try to sit on it. Or get it right the first time with eBay Guarantee Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. Air filters, brakes, headlights, over 122 million parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride. Eligible items.
Flies in the vessel, we are.
The world has gone hands-free. However, if you want to put on a pair of sneakers, you still need to bend down and help your feet in. Until now. Introducing
Until
Skechers
now.
hands-free slip-in footwear. You don't need to reach down to help your heel in. You just step into them and off you go. So what's the secret? Well, there's a special smooth
Flies in the vessel, we are.
and they stay on just like a pair of laced-up sneakers.
Skechers.com. Stylish footwear sold.
Oh, we see ya. Looking for more access, right? We want you to win 1 year of iHeartRadio All Access at iHeartRadioAccessDay.com and experience your iHeartRadio app like never before. Hear absolutely any song on demand. Unlimited skips. Listen to your favorite radio station with 0 commercials. And enjoy full albums from any artist with a single tap. Ultimate access to the iHeartRadio app. Win it now, plus so much more at iHeartRadioAccessDay.com. That's iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
Your home for Villanova basketball is WDAS and WD273D. Fox Sports Radio Philadelphia.
It's the one and only Double G. You know what happened with the D.R.E. You know the West Coast basketball.
back though. It's the Daily Ticket. John Jansen, Sean Brace with you. Roy Burton will be joining us in just a second. If you're just joining us, getting in your car for the first time today, bad news. Phillies lose another one. And is it too early to start panicking? I don't think it is. I just don't have the same vibe about this team that we did necessarily at the end of last year, of course, and the expectations rolling in from the offseason, and they're just not meeting those expectations right now. And it's ugly. It's ugly. It's not fun watch when you don't get a runner to second base.
Well, now what? They scored 3 runs in 3 games.
It's just not fun. So,
I mean, brutal month of May, obviously.
but that was the turnaround.
No,
It's supposed to be the
I
turnaround.
don't even know if this is blind optimism or whatever. They're too good not to turn it around. They're too good. All of these players, they've been MVP candidates. JT Realmuto was a top 10 MVP player last year. Trey Turner's been an MVP candidate. Bryce Harper's won the MVP. Kyle Schwarber hasn't played this bad in a while. Like, I don't know. Maybe I am wrong for thinking that, but I just can't see these guys doing that. I can't.
All right.
Unless Trey Turner's just going to hit 680 for the rest of the season, fine. I will eat that. I'll take that. That would be insane to me.
One more time. What would be insane to you if Trey Turner does what?
It's a 680 OPS.
Yeah.
That would be nuts.
Gotcha.
He's never done that before in his career. Ever.
Well,
ever done that.
And what? This would be the first time a professional athlete came to the city of Philadelphia and struggled in their first year after ripping it up
I know
everywhere else.
Struggling in the first year. I know that's
Yeah.
Obviously, it's well documented. It's something I've noted multiple times.
Okay.
That is a thing.
Well, if you've noted it.
But Trey Turner is too good for that to happen all season. It can happen to where, the first half he's probably going to struggle, find his footing. It's going to be hard for him to do that. And in a new city, new contract, all of that. It happens to a lot of players. It happened to Bryce Harper, Manny Machado, a lot of other notable players, Nolan Arenado, Matt Chapman, every single one of them. So Trey Turner is not the exception to that. There aren't many exceptions to that. But Bryce Harper still, in the second half, played well.
Okay.
And Manny Machado still played well at times in that first year. Trey Turner is going to eventually look like Trey Turner. I don't know when. Maybe it'll be too late. But
and will that be enough? Yes. And the fun
I don't think I'm crazy to say that.
The hypothetical fun conversation that we are having, or hypothetical question that we are tossing out there and debating, is on the yes or no for the Phillies to make the playoffs of this upcoming year. Minus 140 or plus 140 to the yes, minus 170 on the no. So the odds makers are in agreement with me over here. All right, let's switch gears though, folks. I am so excited. We are excited here as a radio station as we continue to grow and do bigger things and evolve from what we were when we first started, dealt with the pandemic. And every year, every football season, it's about raising your game and doing new things and getting new people involved. And this next gentleman joining us right here has been in the Philadelphia sports space for a few years now. And he's got a podcast. He's all over it. He's on your timeline. Even did a little post-game action for NBC Sports Philadelphia with the Eagles, I think 2-3 seasons ago, which was tremendous. Unfortunately, Roy, I apologize. I'm at the game, so I didn't get an opportunity to see all that much. But I know that you kick butt and take names. And Roy will be joining the crew over here on The Gambler and holding it down for us in the fantasy space for this upcoming NFL season and, of course, beyond. He's going to do all the other things that we do on a daily basis here, whether we're giving our opinions on Philadelphia sports or talking about the trending issues of the day. There's a lot of things that are happening right now behind the scenes, and we're just so excited to announce today that Roy Burton will be joining the crew here on The Gambler. You're going to be hearing him a lot over the next few weeks, next few months, of course, getting ready for the upcoming NFL season that is only 98 days away from opening kickoff between the Lions and the Chiefs on Thursday Night Football. Roy, first of all, can't thank you enough. Of course, we're big fans of you here on The Gambler, and the fact that you wanted to, kick the tires and see if there was an opportunity. Absolutely there was, to bring somebody like you in, to get you involved We're super stoked about it, man. Can't thank you enough, and looking forward to the future, my friend. Oh, we're fired up, man. And it's such a space. It's such a space that we do a lot with, and just to have somebody that says, you know what, I want to be the lead. I want to go ahead and take the reins. And you and I were going back and forth via email on some ideas, the show concept, and some of the things that I know that we'll need because, like you pointed out, with Sunday, that's number one, right? Everyone's like, oh my goodness, I have a decision to make. Should I start Devontae Smith or should I go with CD Lamb? You know, it's always something like that. So you're going to be available. You're going to be out there giving your best advice for the people out there. And of course, we're going to be doing stuff live on air. And who knows, we got a long way to go, long summer in front of us. Hopefully we're all over the place for this upcoming NFL year. But I do know this, the people, if they want the best fantasy coverage around, they're going to get it right here on The Gambler, led by Roy. And you can find Roy at the BS line on socials, at the BS line on socials. Roy, of course, you know, with the NFL season that's fast approaching here, you know, I was just talking to Hassan Reddick. He came through the hallways and he was saying, you know, the only thing I'm concerned about right now, in a joking manner, he did say this in a joking manner, that, man, the schedule makers didn't do us any, and they didn't show us any love when they put that schedule out. Yeah, right. I would like to start with you, Roy, as far as the Eagles are concerned, and you know, where do you see the flaws next year? You know, I think a lot of people would probably go to the defense and maybe circle the fact that you're going to have a couple guys in there that are going to be getting their first cracks at starting on the defensive side of the ball, a very young defensive side of the ball. But I don't want to put words in your mouth. If you had to pinpoint a flaw for the Eagles, where do you see that at? Mm. Mm-hmm. Let's talk a little fantasy with the Eagles' perspective. Will Jalen Hurts be the number one player selected from the Philadelphia Eagles offense? And if so, how high do you think Jalen Hurts we could be? And again, the Philadelphia flavor is high. You know, everybody wants the Jalen Hurts to be on their team, but do you foresee maybe possibility Jalen Hurts going number one overall in next year's NFL mock draft or next year fantasy drafts? Mm. All right. Well, give me top 3 picks in your mind right now. If the mock drafts, why do I keep saying mock drafts? If actual fantasy drafts were going down tomorrow, right? 100 drafts were taking place tomorrow. Consensus top 3 players in your mind, who would they be? Hell no. Right. Mhm. Wow. Jeez. Yep.
Now, one wide receiver I'm interested in, and I'm seeing this tweet from the NFL Network about this guy, and that's why it's got me interested. Calvin Ridley's fantasy stock. They asked the question: Calvin Ridley is the top blank wide receiver in the league. Look, when he was not suspended and he was playing, he looked like a top 5 wide receiver in the league. Now he's got this great quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, who has turned the corner after Urban Meyer and looks like he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks. I mean, what is the ceiling here, and what should we expect for Calvin Ridley fantasy wise?
We were having fun with this one yesterday, Roy, and I said, if I'm DeAndre Hopkins, like I have to end up in Kansas City. Now, I might have overstated his value, his worth. I still look at DeAndre Hopkins as a guy that can get you 1,500, a guy that can get you 90 to 100 receptions. I still believe that he would be a lethal weapon with the Kansas City Chiefs. I would say, I mean, yeah, I mean, they got a little long winded, right? I mean, they added Pesci. Pesci was a good addition. I think he came in 2 or 3, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah. All right. So as far as if DeAndre Hopkins ends up with the Kansas City Chiefs, I might have been a little over the top saying just give him the Super Bowl trophy. But like I am, even without DeAndre Hopkins, I still think we run it back. I still think the rematch is going to happen. Eagles and Chiefs run it back. Super Bowl. What is it? 50. What is next year? 50. 59. How about that? Well, yeah, I'd still say that, like, even without DeAndre Hopkins, I'm going to take the Chiefs to represent the AFC and the Eagles represent the NFC. DeAndre Hopkins, if he ends up with the Kansas City Chiefs, what type of player are they getting in your mind, Roy? Yep. Mm-hmm. At the BS line is where you can find Roy on socials. Mandatory follow if you don't already. A couple quick ones to get you out of here on this fine, beautiful Thursday.
Oh, I got one.
Oh, what do you got?
How do we at all draft the Eagles?
Ooh, that's a detailed question, man. That is a
Wanted to
detailed.
save the hard
I mean,
one for
you
last.
should have probably dropped him a line and said, "Hey, I'm going to go down this path on that question." But all right, cool. Are we drafting anybody from the Philadelphia Eagles running back room? Mhm. Hmm. All right. Yeah, it's definitely something that is going to be awesome to watch play out because, we were very passionate when he was picked up, and it's not to say I poo pooed the pick. I did not. It was people like you telling me he was going to lead the league in rushing. That I mean, if I'm healthy, I'm gonna go run 3 miles tonight. I'm not healthy. It happens, right? Like I get it. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, if all that, but I just never saw Rashad Penny leading the league.
Penny averages 6 yards per carry.
Oh, that's fine, but leading the league in rushing is a whole nother ball game compared to just how many yards you average. I'm not trying to say that he stinks, but you guys went over the top, and I had to, just go and combat that. All right, Roy, couple quick ones for just some quick hitters to find out a little bit more about Roy and a little NFL conversation as well. Curious, as far as the 49ers are concerned, as good as advertised next year, or do you think, what, eventually something is going to go wrong at the quarterback position and it's this year? How do you see it playing out with the 49ers this year? Mhm. Yeah. That's where I'm at as well. I'm hoping that is the case because of everything that the 49ers are bringing to the table with their comments and everything like that from the fans and the players. It's like, all right, I want a little, just them to be smacked in the face with a losing record. This should be great. And then come in December and get walloped or whatever that game is. The Jets, Roy, do you have the Jets making the playoffs? Yes or no? Wow. True. All right, Roy. Final one. Let us know your thought. What do you got? What do you got, Jansen?
I was just gonna ask, because Roy is also a wrestling fan.
Well, that's where I was going. We were gonna find out about Roy. We wanted to hear a little bit more about Roy.
It has to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Them's the rules.
So that was one of the angles I was going to go here. So Roy, let us know your wrestling background. I will be up front. I'm not a wrestling guy, but I will tune in when the big events are coming around. They're streaming on Peacock. I like it. Yeah, they, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, all that. But Roy, where do you stand? What's your who's your wrestler of choice? Yeah, give me one right now, current. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you mean? What, you don't think I know who Sean Ricker is? Come on, man. I'm all over Sean Ricker. That's who. That's L.A. Knight. Sean Ricker. He's an American professional wrestling.
His name is LA Knight.
I got his Wikipedia page in front of me. All right, yeah. All right.
I call guys by their kayfabe name.
So, last one, Roy. I know that you had a podcast where you were a foodie, man. You're sampling the goods. I definitely saw that in the Inquirer. I believe you had a write up one time. John Appetit, I believe, is the name of it. So take us, man. You're a foodie type of guy. What's on the menu? Nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Trust me, you're talking to the right two here. We like to eat.
Well, hey, man, we got plenty of studios, plenty of microphones here, a lot of great connections with our sister stations with WDAS, Power 99, Q102, 1045. The list goes on. So we got some strength in numbers here. So any way we can help out with, of course, Daily Fantasy, or John Appetit, or whatever Roy Burton has going on, we're all on the same page here, my friend. We can't thank you enough. We're pumped up. We're pumped up to have you, sir. It's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, getting ready for all those drafts. They'll be fast approaching in August. No need to even think about that now, as the summer just started. It is only June 1. But as I said, only 98 days away from that opening kickoff on Thursday night between the Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs. So Roy Burton, always a pleasure, sir. Hey man, we'll catch up next week and we'll start, laying down the schedule and going over some ideas on how we can get people involved, because everyone's going to be looking for your advice, man. Fantasy drafts are right around the corner, as I said. So we're excited to bring you on the team, Roy. Can't thank you enough. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the weekend. We'll catch up next week. My man, there he is. Once again, Roy Burton on the Gambler Hotline. So I'm talking about Jansen. We're doing it, baby. We're doing it. We're doing it.
Bring it on. I need all that.
I don't know.
Give me the wrestling talk.
I don't know many people that aren't wrestling guys anymore. Like, really, I'm one of the very few people out there that don't watch wrestling.
Feels like it, doesn't it?
It's like,
It
dude.
feels like you're in the minority, that you're not watching this amazing thing that's going on.
Yeah, it's amazing. Same song and dance every week. I don't know who LA Knight is, though. That's a new one for me.
I don't know who LA.
No idea. And then who was the guy that Barkan interviewed? I had no idea who that guy was.
You don't know John Bradshaw Layfield?
Never even
JBL? Are you kidding me?
I love it.
JBL's all over.
Nick Pacone sends me a text message. How about this, JBL? I'm like, who the hell's JBL? No idea. No.
One of the longest world heavyweight title runs.
I'm an MJF guy, not a JBL guy.
MJF is doing it.
When's the next big wrestling event? What is it?
Probably Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank?
The start of July.
Shorty, what you drank?
That's actually but yeah, Money in the Bank, because you get the briefcase and you can cash it in to win the title. And then after that, SummerSlam.
Oh, man.
Which is, by the way,
Talk to me.
in Detroit this year. Up in Buster's.
Oh, I was going to say, why does that even mean anything?
Well, because it's always been in Brooklyn. It's always been like in New York. It's been at the Barclays Center for, as long as I can remember. Years.
Cool.
Now it's going to be in Detroit.
All right.
In Ford Field Stadium show.
And WrestleMania's coming to Philly. That's going to be a huge deal for us next year. When is that? That's 2024. That's next year. Yeah, it's going to be
next WrestleMania.
It's gonna be,
WrestleMania 40, which is in.
It's going to be outrageous.
By the way,
and we will be a full-on wrestling station.
You know, at that point, I'm taking off.
No, we're not going.
I'm taking off.
Can't. We're doing shows all week in wrestling gear. Like it's going to be a straight up wrestling.
Entire week or month before, work every single day and do all the interviews. If wrestlers are going to be wanting to do interviews all over the place, I will do all of them. I'll do whatever you need. That week, don't even talk to me. Don't talk.
I say we just turn this into.
Unless you're at an indie show watching it with me, don't talk.
I say we turn it into a wrestling station for that week. Just talk nothing but wrestling as.
I'm your guy.
And well, you just said you can't work. You just said you're not working.
Mate, you know what you can do? You can call me when I'm at these shows, and I'll
there
give
you
you
go.
updates on what's going on.
All right, coming down the home stretch here on the Daily Ticket on a Thursday, folks. If you've been listening to this radio station or anything iHeart in the last 48 hours, you've been hearing about this Access Day. Well, the red carpet has been officially rolled out. Do yourself a favor, get on out to accessday.iheart.com. Accessday.iheart.com. If you just Google Access Day iHeart, it will pop up. And you will see everything that you can bid on, enter sweepstakes for, see offers. We're talking about some of the cooler things out there that just are once-in-a-lifetime deals. Whether you can go out and, look, you can go kick it with Dan Patrick at his show on Traeger Meat Friday, hanging with the people. All right, that's pretty cool. That's from us from the sports side of things. They also got one with Cowherd out here. You can fly out to LA, meet Cowherd, hang out with him behind the scenes in his show. Fox Sports Radio's got some cool things. DraftKings, they're rolling out a 50% profit boost for tonight's NBA Finals. All you got to do is visit the website. Once again, accessday.ir.com. DraftKings also has it available in their promos category when you go to DK. Jansen Tire and Auto, not Jansen, Jensen. And there's so many things going on. It's coast to coast, PA locally. We got a lot of cool things happening So do yourself a favor, get on over to accessday.iheart.com. Do not miss out on these opportunities. They got it broken down to categories: travel, technology, shopping, medical, healthcare, lifestyle, health and wellness, home building improvements, food and beverage, entertainment, auto. Let's go to entertainment. I'm an entertainment type of guy. You can go to SeaWorld. You can get up to 20% off on tickets and annual passes, Busch Gardens. I'm just reading off the top. X Golf, 50% gift cards here.
X-Golf?
Let's see here. $500 off a new Sea-Doo Switch. I'd love one of those for Lake Wallenpaupack cruising. Yeah. Get your tickets now to Monster Jam. See Gravedigger. Not bigger than Bigfoot, though. Bigfoot's the legend. Bigfoot number one.
It's always great. Always has been, always will. The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will.
I guess what the hell is this? Tailgating and tall boys. Come on down here and you can hang out with us.
What is tailgating and tall boys? Is that
Mitchell Tenpenny. I don't know who that is. Gabby Barrett, Jackson Dean. Looks like a country thing. So that's the thing. iHeartRadio has country, all, rock. They got everything. So there's a little something for everybody there. Sports, really cool stuff. And I like look, they just put it together for you out there, the listener. They said, you know what? We want to throw a big old brouhaha for the listeners, give them an opportunity to win some really cool prizes, all just because they're listening to us here on iHeartRadio. We appreciate that. Access Day is here. You're not going to want to miss this. Sign up now. It's the Daily Ticket. We're rolling on back up to this.
Oh, did you know it's Access Day? Oh. Can't believe you don't know who John Bradshaw Layfield is.
All right, so Roy's good, man. Roy's
Yeah,
good.
Roy's great.
So, like his schedule sucks though, I think. So he's not going to be available until like 5 o'clock. But he's willing to work on Sundays. He definitely wants to do stuff on Saturdays. So we just got to use him, lock him in, to a fantasy spot where I'm probably going to record the night before.
Yeah, fantasy stuff. None of that's time sensitive.
Yep.
So check out iHeartRadioAccessDay.com right now and stay tuned for more throughout the day.
Temu.com, that's TEMU.com, is giving you an exclusive opportunity to unlock a $100 spending spree on their app today only on iHeart Radio Access Day.
Do I make food or do I
Most downloaded app on the App Store. And this is your chance to get a $100 coupon bundle you can use on millions of items. All you have to do is download the Temu app, enter a promo code, and you'll have $100 you can use to treat yourself to the latest fashion, home goods, or beauty products. Just head over to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com today for your promo code. Then get started on your $100 Temu.com shopping spree.
It's big. Our iHeartRadio Access Day, we call it that because it's access to great stuff, access to deals you can't beat, and some really cool experiences too.
You could be joining Ryan Seacrest for a VIP experience at our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival in Las Vegas, including tickets for both nights, all part of iHeartRadio Access Day.
Head to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com now to register for a chance to win. Today only. That's iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
Only 3 in the morning sets the scene for our entire day. That's why Daily Harvest is a game changer. Daily Harvest delivers delicious smoothies, flatbreads, harvest bowls, and more right to your door. All built on fruits and veggies. With easy to prep options, Daily Harvest keeps your freezer stocked with good food that's ready when you are. Daily Harvest works directly with farmers to source the best ingredients and freezes them at peak ripeness to lock in flavor and nutrients. Right now, receive $50 off your first Daily Harvest box plus free shipping. Redeem offer at iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
Introducing Swiffer's Best Clean, the new Swiffer Power Mop. It's an all-in-one cleaning system that gives you the scrubbing power of a mop and bucket without the hassle. And today only, you can win a year's supply of Swiffer Power Mop. Just go to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com to enter. That's iHeartRadioAccessDay.com for your chance to win a year's supply of the new Swiffer Power Mop, so you can clean your home in half the time. Mop smarter with the new Swiffer Power Mop.
I
With Game Time, you can score last-minute deals on concerts, games, shows, everything. Game Time sounds awesome. It is.
Today only, go to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com to get a code for $20 off your first Game Time ticket order. That's $20 off your first ticket order at iHeartRadioAccessDay.com. New users only. $150 minimum purchase. Can only be redeemed once. Cannot be combined with any other promo.
The Dell Technologies Summer Sale event is on with limited quantity deals on top tech. Save on select PCs powered by the latest Intel Core processors like thin and light XPS 13 laptops, Inspiron laptops, and 2-in-1s. Plus, get savings on select accessories, free shipping, and monthly payment options with Dell Preferred Account. It's the perfect season to power your passions during Dell's Summer Sale event. Save today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. Offered to U.S. residents by WebBank, who determines qualifications for and terms of credit.
Hey man, you alright? Need me to call 911? No.
Call Top Dog Law.
Get Top Dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com.
We see you. Looking for more access, right? We want you to win 1 year of iHeartRadio All Access at iHeartRadioAccessDay.com. Experience more iHeartRadio app like never before.
Oh, my arm.
Any song on demand, unlimited skips, listen to your favorite station with 0 commercials, and enjoy full albums from any artist with a single tap. Ultimate access to the iHeartRadio app. Win it now. Plus so much more at iHeartRadioAccessDay.com. That's iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
How we feel in the morning sets the scene for our entire day. That's why Daily Harvest is a game changer. Daily Harvest delivers delicious smoothies, flatbreads, harvest bowls, and more right to your door. All built on fruits and veggies. With easy-to-prep options, Daily Harvest keeps your freezer stocked with good food that's ready when you are. Daily Harvest works directly with farmers to source the best ingredients and freezes them at peak ripeness to lock in flavor and nutrients. Right now, receive $50 off your first Daily Harvest box plus free shipping. Redeem offer at iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
Today is iHeartRadio Access Day. We've got incredible one-of-a-kind deals and unique experiences for you all day long. You could be joining us, Steve Cavino and Rich Davis from Fox Sports Radio's Cavino and Rich, for the virtual bachelor party of a lifetime, all part of iHeartRadio Access Day.
Head to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com now to register for a chance to win. Today only. That's iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
Check out iHeartRadioAccessDay.com right now and stay tuned for more throughout the day.
Carvision.com is the local presenting partner for iHeartRadio Access Day. Check out special offers and giveaways at iHeartRadioAccessDay.com for access to the best buying experience in over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles. Count on Carvision. Visit one of their 4 locations or Carvision.com.
Introducing Swiffer's Best Clean, the new Swiffer Power Mop. It's an all-in-one cleaning system that gives you the scrubbing power of a mop and
Philly debatable.
without the hassle. And today only, you can win a year's supply of Swiffer Power Mop. Just go to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com to win it. That's iHeartRadioAccessDay.com for your chance to win a year's supply of the new Swiffer Power Mop, so you can clean your home in half the time. Mop smarter with the new Swiffer Power Mop.
Picture the next big family memories you want to make together. Are you riding the newest roller coasters, or are you up close and personal with some of the world's most magnificent animals? If the answer is yes, then go to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com now to score up to 50% off tickets to Busch Gardens and SeaWorld, the only parks that combine the best theme park thrills with one-of-a-kind animal experiences. Even better, a portion of every ticket goes back to animal rescue and conservation. So go to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com today only to score up to 50% off tickets. Service fees, blackout dates, and restrictions may apply.
Do you have shoeboxes full of photos? Today only, iHeartRadio Access Day listeners get VIP access to the new Photo Legacy Box. Get your family's photos professionally scanned for as low as 7 cents, which is 76% less than what other brands charge. As the world's largest digitizer, you know you can trust Legacy Box. Visit iHeartRadioAccessDay.com today to get 200 photos scanned starting at just $19.95. That's iHeartRadioAccessDay.com.
Take as little as 3 minutes to see if you can save on motorcycle insurance with Progressive. Come on, you've spent more time than that thinking about helmets with faces on them.
I should get a new helmet. Ooh, maybe I'll get one of those ones that looks like a face with painted teeth and eyebrows, you know? Oh, that always looks so cool. People are like, whoa, is that a person with 2 faces? Oh, no, it's a helmet and 1 face.
Get a quote in as little as 3 minutes at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
Get ready for an unforgettable day. Today is iHeartRadio Access Day. Your stations are offering incredible one-of-a-kind deals and unique experiences you won't want to miss. Head to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com to see what our partners have in store for you.
Blue skies and very mild temperatures at low 62. And for Friday, the heat is on. Most sunny, becoming more humid with a high of 92 degrees. First time this year in the 90s. Only one day, though. Saturday turns sharply cooler. 73 degrees and few isolated showers. Sunday, cloudy, sun 74. I'm meteorologist Cecily Tonic with your 6 ABC accurate forecast.
This report is sponsored by iHeartRadio Access Day. Get ready for an unforgettable day. Today is iHeartRadio Access Day. Your favorite iHeartRadio stations are offering incredible one-of-a-kind deals and unique experiences you won't want to miss. Head to iHeartRadioAccessDay.com to see what our partners have in store for you. Join Philadelphia Councilmember Kenyatta Jansen and Pennsylvania State Representative Jordan Harris for the Point Breeze Night Market on Wednesday, June 7th from 4 to 10 p.m. along the 1200 to 1300 blocks of Point Breeze Avenue in South Philly. The night market will feature live musical entertainment, food vendors, and a fun festival atmosphere for the entire family. This is a rain or shine event. For more info, contact Councilmember Johnson's office at 215-686-3412. That's 215-686-3412.
Who sings it? Who sings it, John Jansen?
I don't know.
Grateful Dead.
Oh, I should have known.
Come on, dude. Come
I should
on.
have known you were just
Yeah.
That's on me. That's on me.
Jansen coming to his first Dead and Company show, first Grateful Dead experience. Oh
I'm
man,
an excited, nervous.
it's a big summer for you.
It's just not.
You know, going to Vegas for the first time, Dead shows. Oh, it's an experience too. It's definitely something that
What do you mean?
the freakiest of the freaks are going to be out there.
But this will be the first time I've ever seen.
Thank you. Yeah.
I wasn't gonna do that again after you scolded me the last time. But this will be the first time I've seen John Mayer in concert. And I'm a huge John.
He's rolling, baby.
Huge John Mayer. And I feel like this is where I can kind of get him at his best too. Obviously, I like his songs for sure, but to see John Mayer just kind of jamming and wailing on guitar, that's my jam.
Shredding, bruh.
That's my jam.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good time.
Dude can wail, absolutely wail.
What about Wales?
He can wail on guitar, like he can just,
Yeah, you can jam out.
Jam out.
Jamming. All right, we're coming down the home stretch here on a Thursday. What's happening around the sports world right now in the Major League Baseball side of things as far as live action, Tracy? Live action. Phillies did lose. Right now, Rockies are currently up 4-2 over the Diamondbacks. Game being played in Arizona. About 3 other games to take part in this evening. One of them pretty good. The Angels and Astros. As far as the number is concerned, Astros are home. They're minus 145.
Not the best pitching matchup.
No.
2 teams together. Yeah, I think a really good matchup today.
I think the Angels can get it done this year as far as make the playoffs and put an end to that stretch. I think they have the longest streak, if I'm not mistaken, from not making the playoffs. You know, yesterday, Trout and Shohei. Yeah. Well, Shohei hit 2. Trout hit 1. That's the 5th time.
Trout's might as well just count it 2.
Yeah.
I mean, he crushed an absolute meatball of pitch.
Just disappointing that they're not able to get it, because that's what you want if you're Rob Manfred. If you're the commissioner of baseball, you want the Angels to be damn good. Because
after seeing Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani on the World Baseball Classic stage,
yep,
everybody paid attention because that, like, I don't think we've seen a baseball moment with two players in particular like that. And I know they went against each other and all, but Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani on your biggest stage in the playoffs would be gigantic.
Yeah.
They need that in the worst way. And I don't know if they're going to get it. I mean, the Angels are off to a decent start. 30-27, I would say, is pretty good. But the American League is tough. And it's really going to be tough to take away one of those wild card spots away from the AL East teams, and then also whoever wins the West.
Okay.
Because the Angels aren't going to win the West. They're not going to win the West.
No, they're not. I agree.
West is really good, and the Angels included in that. They're good, and even right behind them is Seattle, and Seattle's not that bad. Seattle's been pretty good lately.
Okay.
So it would be, I hate to say it, a miracle. It's going to take a lot of work to get the Angels in the playoffs.
Well, there's plenty of baseball to be played. I don't know if it's going to be a lot of work.
I know,
They're not that bad.
They're not that bad, but Sean, we're talking about a league that in the AL East, there is not one team under 500 in that division. Then you go over to the AL West, there is only one team under 500 in that division, and that, of course, being Oakland. And we're talking about in just one division, a group of 8 teams.
Yeah.
And then in the Central, what if Cleveland puts it together? Because we know that they can be good enough to do that. Dealing with some injuries, especially starting rotation, you get Tristan McKenzie back. And, Minnesota's probably going to win that division. So, I don't know. It's a group of about 8-9 teams that are really good. And the Angels being one of them. But that's going to be tough to get into the wild card in that league. Very tough.
Yeah. No, you're right. Speaking of baseball, there was recent reports that Shane Bieber could be traded by the deadline from the Guardians. Shane Bieber, Phillies, any traction there for you?
Oh, if they can get him.
That's the problem.
Shane Bieber's been fantastic. And even right now, I think he's been good. Now, he's not been as sharp as you want him to be, but he's sharper than anybody the Phillies have right now outside of Zach Wheeler. So I think it would be great. It's just, I don't know if there's any way to get him.
Yeah.
Unless you feel comfortable parting with more than one of your highly coveted pitching prospects, you're probably not going to get him.
Yeah, I agree with that. There'll be another desperate team out there. There's going to be a lot of teams out there looking to up the ante when it comes to getting starting pitching. Yeah, so I think there was a lot of injuries. We don't know what's going on with the pitch clock. Is that having an effect on pitchers? Will we see more injuries in the second half of the season?
I know he was one we were kind of worried about with it, and he's mentioned it. I imagine it has to have an effect on pitchers still. Not all of them. I think most guys have adjusted, but there are a few that maybe haven't. Is Nola one of those guys?
Well, from the outside looking in, I'm going to say no, but I would.
To me, he looks. I don't know if the uncomfortable part is he's just feeling like guys are getting on his pitches a lot more because of his velocity being a little down, and that's causing him to be kind of uncomfortable and getting out of the strike zone a lot, or is maybe pitch clock? He feels rushed.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's more of his stuff maybe isn't as good as it has been, and guys are pretty much making contact with everything, and I mean hard contact. But I think there's a part of it that is Nola is not comfortable being pressed to pitch that fast.
All right.
I don't know. I'm trying to make sense out of something that just doesn't make sense.
I agree.
Because Nola's just been terrible.
Yes, he has. Well, folks, if you were wondering how the whole Josh Hart tweet was going to come to an end as far as have you ever tasted breast milk, asking for a friend, folks, he will be on tonight, Stephen A's World. So if you're not watching the game on the regular broadcast, you can enjoy the game with Stephen A yelling at you. I don't know why I said Stephen Hart there. He's got Deion Cole, which he's funny, Cody Martin. He's got Josh Hart, Rob Lowe, Peyton Manning, and her on tonight's broadcast. Anybody move the needle there for you? I mean, Stephen A., God bless him. He's been able to do it his way from the beginning, but there's just entirely too much Stephen A. out there. Like his show is his life. His life is his show. Like he does the pre and post game, and you have to watch the game with them too. I mean, just because people want to do these things doesn't mean you have to approve it. I don't know. Maybe the ratings are off the charts. Who knows? Who knows? People, we had 1,500 people watching the game with us, and I'm no Rob Lowe or Peyton Manning. I do have my name tattooed on my stomach, though. Don't know if that gets you to tune in. Well, just to let you know that there's things being put in behind the scenes that
That's right.
I could be
right.
could be getting paid to remove my tattoo.
Yeah, that's right.
Look at that
I
thing.
hope it gets done.
Thing's ridiculous.
Maybe some laser hair removal too would be nice.
I had that. Didn't work. I did. Went through that damn pain. It's ridiculous. All right. This was a fun one.
Oh, wait, did you actually go through that?
I'm pretty sure I'm taking off tomorrow, just to let you know. But you'll hear Jansen. You'll hear The Divide. You will hear Balls, Bats, and Bets, all that. If I can get the energy after my 4th and final day of treatment, I will be here. But if not, I will talk to you. Everybody, have yourself a wonderful night. Nuggets, first quarter, first half game. Joker, triple double. Peace.
Did it really not work?
No, it didn't. Yeah, it was ridiculous. Ding.
Swing it. And dang it. Oh.
All right, so I told Sean, I said, yo, more Danielle in the videos. She's hot. We got a hot girl on our socials. Jansen, you know. Last time we had a hot girl on our socials was Devin. And then look what happened. Oh, she did freaking get hired by WIP. Hey, imagine if we gave Brace an opportunity to build something. Let them pay people what they're deserving to be paid. Be in here 24/7, 365. Let's keep it going. We got some big things happening right now. Getting names out there. I saw you were on Crossing Broad. That was cool.
I was. Yeah, I was kind of worried because they went long as hell. That I was going to be into that. Yeah, it was cool.
That's what's up. That's what's up.